step in your river, and it takes me deep. Your heart is my temple, your tears rinse my feet. I walk out, I'm able to carry your peace. It reminds me of a song that I heard long ago. Maybe I've always known that you were right there. A simple melody playing over and over in my dreams.
What's up, everybody? We are live Tuesday night. We're here in the Lion's Den, going live with the crew. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see a bunch of people chiming in already. George, Courtney, Mom, Emma, all of the Young Lions are chiming in the building. Shout out to all of y'all. Listen, you're watching Young Lion TV. Let's go.
Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, won't you get up and stop fighting? Everywhere I look, they're hiding.
Yes, sir. We are here in the Lion's Den. I got Stan and Jake with me over on camera shot number 2. Yeah. And then me and Mona over here, of course. And, you know, the reason why we that did that intro so flawlessly and everything moved smoothly today is because we got our ace producer sitting in for a couple minutes. My little one, my little 12-year-old Elise is sitting in there. She's not going to show herself too much. So shout out to her for stepping in when we need her. Hopefully John will be here soon. So you can go to bed and get ready for school tomorrow. She's been off the last couple days because of Rosh Hashanah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I forgot over here. They
What is Rosh
a
Hashanah?
heavy that.
What is Rosh Hashanah? That's the
Happy New Year.
the Jewish New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
The Jewish New Year. Okay.
Yeah.
The
Right.
fake New Year.
The fake New Year.
In
It's actually the real New Year. Our New Year is the fake New Year. It's
No.
based off the Greco-Roman calendar.
I'm
which
saying that that's
totally
not
made
really
up.
their New Year.
Like-
get him, Jamie.
Yeah.
Get him.
If you look at it's you it
Break
they
it down.
say that it actually could be in the spring.
Okay. So what is the significance of Rosh Hashanah then? Like them
Rosh
celebrating-
Hashanah isn't even the Bible.
Right. It's really the feast, right?
It's Yom Teruah
Right.
is actually what it is, which is the feast, or it's really just the day of trumpets.
So the feast of the trumpets.
Yeah, and it's connected to what's the Yom Kippur,
Mm-hmm.
which comes 10 days later,
Right.
which is the Day of Atonement
Atonement.
that we, in the Bible.
Right. And that's really supposed to be like your fresh start.
Yeah.
So this is like the setup of the new year.
this is
kind of
like the trumpet is like almost like the Jews would kind of like start even the month before it was kind of like a precursor to
prepping for
you
the
know
day of
searching
atonement.
and
Yeah.
turning to
Almost like a
God.
great reset, if you will.
Yeah, in a way.
The real reset.
the real reset. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but for some reason, her school, I guess there's a huge Jewish community here where we live, so they
Yeah.
always get all
Yeah.
the Jewish holidays off. I
in
know-
this entire area.
Yeah,
Like
Voorhees,
in
Cherry
Medford,
Hill.
where
where you deliver.
there's
Yeah.
like a camp. It's like a campground, and it's like ran by Jewish
Yeah.
people, and it's a
Is it the camp where my daughter lost her shoes last week?
maybe.
Right, Elise? You want to tell everybody about how you lost your shoes in the swamp? No,
That's great.
We
We heard about that. And as your daddy's telling the story, I'm like, yes, that is your daughter.
Yes, yes. Quick shout out to George for always tuning in. He said, "What up, Tuesday Squad?"
What up?
George,
How was Nashville?
How was Nashville, brother? And you are a loyal watcher. We hope one day you'll become a Patreon member and support the cause. Courtney
Y'all got enough money.
said, "Happy Tuesday, fam." What's up, Courtney? We love you, girl. Mom said, "Hi, love you guys, miss you." My mom is out in Florida right now. That's why she's not sitting in here with us. She's in Florida right now taking care of her mother.
Are they prepping for the storm?
Is there supposed to be? Oh, yeah, that's
Ian,
right.
she
They're like
gets hurricane,
evacuating.
yeah.
But that's in the Tampa area, right?
Tampa and It's across like,
A huge swath of Florida.
yeah.
She's all the way in Fort Lauderdale, though.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
they're up.
They'll probably. I mean, hopefully, we still don't know, but
Wait, Tampa's not too far from. It's like 3 hours, isn't
It
it?
was on the other side.
it's on the other side.
Yeah, it's on the other coast,
Yeah.
Okay,
and it's
but it's only a few hours though, right?
yeah, a few hours. I mean, 3 hours from here is D.C. If a storm hits D.C., do we get it? You know what I mean?
So, like a lot of times we
So,
do. If
I
it's,
mean,
if it's coming from the
if it-
south.
yeah, if it moves into us. But I'm saying,
Right.
like, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it have to go down.
Yeah.
It would have to travel southeast, which doesn't really happen with those kind of storms.
Mom said the hurricane is there right now.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Oh
So
wow!
it already hit.
I hope you're in there praying. Shout out to Emma. He said, "Greetings, guys. Much love from Mount Laurel." Shout out to our Patreon member, our new Young Lion member right there, Emma. He went up from just like the little dip your toe in feeding the cubs to
young lion, young
yeah.
lion.
Shout out to him, man. Emma's been supporting like crazy, coming to the shows, watching the podcast for forever. So we appreciate you, man. Putting other people on to what we're doing. We're going to just keep trying to grow this thing. And speaking of that, if you guys want to become a member, if you want to support what we're doing, you want to help us grow this thing, you can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/youngliontv, where we have our different tiers on there that you can sign up for based on how much you want to, give into what we're doing. These conversations that we have are not supported by the algorithm at all. They suppress everything we're doing. People don't get notifications when we go live. So it's all about y'all support. And the easiest thing you can do is like this video and share it. If you share this video, put it in the stream, that bumps it up in the algorithm a tad bit. But other than that, people aren't getting notifications. So we depend on you guys to support. That's the only way we can grow this thing. Shout out to the people on Twitch right now if you're watching, YouTube, Rumble, all those places we're streaming live simultaneously. And if you want to donate, just throw a little meat to the lions on Cash App. It's just Young Lion TV on Cash App. You can throw a little donation there. Everything that y'all give is going to us upgrading what we're doing, getting better cameras, better computers, making this thing more streamlined, bring people in, guests, making this thing bigger, building the kingdom. We're trying to grow this community that we have, and also incentivizing people in other different ways with our music, our live shows, all that stuff. And if you talk to any of the other young lions that come to our live shows, they'll let you know that it is an experience. When you come see a show, there's a lot of things that happen. Spirit moves. So it's something that we're trying to do more of. And all that will be helped if you guys support and donate and all that good stuff. Other than that, how's everybody doing this evening?
I'm good. It's funny. We had rehearsal yesterday.
Yeah.
And I used the tambourine more than normal.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. You got a little soreness in your palm?
No. I was looking for, because that's the brass one I bought, but then you got me I couldn't find the original one that I had, the regular, what's metal? I mean, I don't know what kind of metal it is, but I have the brass one. So I'm sitting here as you're talking, and I see the one I need behind you.
Oh, that's the one you wanted to play?
Yeah, that's the one I need.
I thought that's the one that you didn't like.
No.
The brass one is the better one.
No, I don't think so.
Trust me. When you use this one, you're going to be like, oh, this one sucks.
Okay.
Because I remember this is the one you hated. That's why I brought it here.
Maybe you're right. But I swore it was the brass one that was like too tingy.
No. This one.
That one's too tingy?
Yes.
Okay.
The brass one actually is a little more muted. That was the one you liked better. Okay. I remember. You probably haven't played it in a while, so it just felt a little.
Yeah, he forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were running all the old Jatan at rehearsal last night, dude. We did Come Closer.
Oh.
We did
Take
Burn. We did Take Me Home.
Nice.
Yeah, we just like started pulling out all the old joints.
Jordan was feeling Take Me Home.
He was, man. He never played it before.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
It was a good. I felt it at the end. The Take Me Back Home part.
Yeah, you forget how good those songs are.
And it was funny too because we had this little moment where, like, in the intro of Who Am I, like, we set it up. It's like very ethereal,
Oh,
and,
yeah,
like, space.
yeah.
And I'm like getting into the spirit. I'm singing it. I'm like getting into it, and I'm wearing these. So Jake notices them, and he's like, you're wearing Adidas Crocs right in the middle of me singing. Yeah.
Adidas. No, yeah, he said that. I heard it because I was looking at it at the same time Jake said
Yeah.
something. But Jordan, at the end of the song, he was like, I thought he said Jesus rocks. I thought Jake said Jesus rocks.
Yeah.
That's acceptable.
Yeah, that was a funny little thing. But yeah, we had a good rehearsal, man. Getting ready to go to the West Coast in a couple days.
West Coast run.
West Coast run. We're gonna be in San Diego on Thursday at Sequan Casino, which is a
Always a good time for y'all. Right?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
always a good one, man. One of these days we got to get you to come with us, man. They gotta before they built the resort there, they used to have just like we used to stay on this like golf course where they had, you know, a gym, a pool, and like hot tubs and stuff, and we used to just hang out there.
Oh, okay.
But now they have like I guess you know they're doing well as casinos do.
Right.
And they built
It's-
like a whole
They
resort.
stayed open during COVID.
Yeah, they did because we did it last year. But they have like a whole resort now with a lazy river and you know like all this
man.
stuff they built
They
onto the
went all
casino. Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
we'll be there with Freddie on Thursday.
Oh, y'all out Thursday.
Yeah, and then after that we're going right into the belly of the beast, Oakland, California.
Oh.
We'll be there for 2 nights at Yoshi's, which is a like, it's kind of like remember the City Winery in Philly we did. It's
Yeah.
kind of that type of vibe, but it's a Japanese theme place.
Okay. That's where you had the good sushi.
No,
Oh, it was at
No.
another spot.
That was in
that
Seattle.
was in
Seattle.
Seattle.
Oh, okay.
Yoshi's.
Yeah, Yoshi's sushi.
They do give us sushi.
It's not the one.
Yeah, yeah. Yoshi's is a different tier of budget,
Right.
you know, as far as.
You guys are so snobby.
Hey, all I'm saying is we got to
when you had
catch
the
Uber.
fine wine.
when you yes, you can't go back, right?
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is we got to get our own Ubers from the airport.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one of
Right.
those
Oh.
one of those shows. But you know, it is what it is.
You know.
You're gonna be out there. We're gonna try to see if we can do some damage while we're out there. You know what I mean?
What
But
does that mean?
I mean,
yes,
just
sir.
do some damage
In the
to
spirit.
the
To the
kingdom of
atmosphere.
chaos
Yeah.
that is
the atmosphere.
working out there. You know what I
Especially
mean?
on that second stop.
You know, it is crazy right now.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah, just being in Cali. There's so much going on right now.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be.
Nope.
Yeah.
People are
They're
leaving in
moving
droves.
to Mexico.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They would rather
That's
live
crazy.
in Mexico
It's crazy.
City
That's crazy.
than California right now.
I read an article about how Mexicans are like
They're mad.
they're mad because you know they don't speak Spanish.
Yeah,
It
didn't I
sounds-
play a video about that on the podcast a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a whole dude. He was doing a whole thing about if you're gonna come here, you need to learn the language. You know what I mean? You need to appreciate
need to
our
go back to where
culture,
you come
or
from. How
go
do you
back
say
to
that
where
in
you
Spanish?
go back to where you came from. Like it was like, oh, really?
Oh my, how the tabletops have turned.
Right?
That's not racist.
No, that's not racist when they say it. That's not racist because it's all white people going there.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're like moving to Mexico.
Yeah,
And-
they probably
and-
build it. But it's a little different because they're probably buying up the best properties.
Yeah, they are, and they're
Yeah,
gentrifying
you-
areas. There's restaurants that only speak English now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
people
you gotta
are like-
have some type of money to
Yeah.
relocate.
Right.
so it's
that.
the opposite of here.
Right.
They're going into the poor neighborhoods, and everyone speaks Spanish,
Yeah.
building up the voodoo shops and the restaurants and stuff. Yeah, but
That's funny.
Voodoo shops.
hey, they are. Mom said, my sister said the last time I came in August, I had to leave because of COVID, and now a hurricane. I know, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's trying to keep you from being there.
Doesn't look like the eye is over them yet, but
Yeah.
it's coming up that way.
So Jake's got a bone to pick with everybody here. which
Uh-oh.
I didn't even think about it.
Oh yeah.
But he mentioned it at rehearsal yesterday because we were talking about how we all had a good time. We you know, I don't know if we could talk about it, but we met
can talk about it.
Simone's new girlfriend. You know, Simone got a little new boo.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So,
Yeah.
so we all met her over the weekend
Right.
at Nana's house.
Right.
But Jake never got invited.
Yeah. We said it. We talked about it here. I thought.
No, we did it, dude. We did it. I found out about it during the week.
I don't even think you were here last week.
No, you weren't here.
You weren't here, and then you and Nana both text me at the same time, like, "Yo, just so you know, I'm doing a brisket on Saturday if you come through." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And then a couple days went by. I didn't think about it, and then because like I was saying, me and Moan talked about it at soccer, but Jake ended up not coming to soccer, so we never.
I just assumed that he knew.
Me
and,
too.
You know, Jake never really when it's all the way out there. He,
Right.
he has
Yeah,
he has so many.
And I
kids
figured
and
maybe
stuff
he
and
had soccer games to go to,
Yeah.
so he probably wasn't gonna come.
Yeah, I know.
So the time he didn't have anything.
Yeah,
Exclude me.
he could have came.
Yeah. Exclude me out of everything. All right. Nah, I don't care. I mean, I would like to hang out with
At
y'all,
least no.
but yeah, I sat home by myself.
Yeah, man. Next time.
Yeah, next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
I'm gonna
dude.
do another one. I like.
Yeah, I mean, we just really
We
chilled, ate
by
food.
the fire.
Yeah.
They had a fire pit outside, and we were just hanging out.
The only reason he did it came up because Nana was like, I got a brisket that I need to do. And I'm like, oh, I got one too.
And
'Cause
they,
you don't want it to
they
get-
both did briskets two different
freezer
ways.
burns. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
You better do it.
I haven't made fried rice in a long time.
Yeah.
Stan opened the container. I had it, and he was like, because I didn't tell him. He was so excited.
Yeah.
The dude ate like half of it
Yeah.
before the party.
He
even
did the
started.
same thing I did. I mixed your
mixed
rice
the rices,
and Nana's rice together
Yeah.
and ate them together.
It's a good mix, man.
Yeah.
That was a good, perfect mix.
One thing when I was leaving, were you there? Were you there when Quabi was talking to me when I was leaving the party? You were. I don't think. Maybe you were. You
I
came
think
back.
me and Nana was
I
cleaning
was,
up.
I was
Okay.
occupied. the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
time.
yeah. No, but it was funny because
Young love.
he was like, yo, man, I gotta say this. I gotta make a point to say this. I really appreciate how you handle your family.
I did. Yeah,
you saw
yeah,
that.
yeah, I did see
And
that.
he was like, man, you came in and you made your daughter speak to everybody,
Yeah,
and like I really respect that.
Yep.
I was like, man, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
nah, I always got to make sure I let people know when I
Right.
think they're doing a good job.
Yep.
I was like, man, I appreciate that.
I did hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
thought
that was cool. Yep.
And I let them know when I got there, Kyle and him, about like how I appreciate the fact that they got married and are trying to do the right thing. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And how I
Especially
respect
now.
that, and I'm happy for both of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Even though he didn't get invited to the wedding.
Yeah, no, I did throw that in there.
Yeah.
I did throw that. I didn't get invited, but it's all good. I was just messing with them. But no, it was cool, man.
He brought up the +1 thing. 'Cause
Right.
I always joke with Rand just to get under her skin a little bit.
Yeah.
I ain't get a +1 to your wedding, but I didn't say anything to Kyle because
Right.
I really don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was a good time.
Mike said, "Welcome to Florida. Love you, cuz." Oh, Mike he's talking to my mom. Yeah. So, other than that, anything else going on, Jake? Anything else anybody want to bring up before we get into some
Eagles
stuff?
are 3-0.
Are they?
Yeah.
Wow. I haven't watched
heard
1
about that.
second of football.
Yeah.
Eagles are 3-0, huh?
Yeah, I saw a little bit with Nana last week. He actually looked good. Jalen Hurts looked pretty good with the passing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They still got
But he
Miles
did-
Sanders.
Yes.
How's he doing?
He's running pretty good. I just burped. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
He's running pretty good. The team looks good. The wide receivers looked good. But they only played Carson Wentz and the Washington
Commanders.
though. You know?
That's crazy. I didn't know he went to Washington.
Went
Yeah.
to Washington.
Yep.
Wow.
After the Colts.
The Colts had enough of him.
Yeah.
Did he play a full season? He got hurt, right? With them, with the Colts. If I
I
remember
don't
right.
think he played a full season.
Yeah.
Mm.
Speaking of Washington and the Commanders are changing names. Did you see that Corinne Jean-Pierre got asked about, or she said the Braves should focus on trying to change their name?
I
Because they
did
were
see-
just at the White House.
They were at the White House.
Yeah.
They gave Biden the jersey, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So she brought that up.
So she brought it up. The Braves should change their name.
because of the whole.
Indigenous people.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they think it's there's no end to the wokeness, man.
There's no
There's
end.
no end.
Never satisfied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No end to it.
It's so woke.
Happy
Yeah.
life, happy wife.
What is that? What is that? What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
That's
Show-
Explain
explain that to
Explain
me.
the connection.
Well, number one, I said it backwards.
I was gonna say that's a Biden quote
Yeah.
because he said it.
Yeah, happy life, happy wife. What do I
Happy wife, happy life.
What do I mean? I mean, it's about pleasing people.
Oh, it's about politeness.
It's about political
Polite.
correctness.
Yeah.
It's about
political
polite.
correctness.
You know, you're never gonna really please your wife.
Yeah.
You know, that's an illusion. It's a lie. Like you can't please your wife. What, Mo?
Nah, I'm just thinking how many of them he offended if they heard him say that.
Yeah, I mean it's the truth. Like,
You just saw it all on my face.
yeah, it's because you can't. It's just like trying to please your husband. You know, it's the same thing. Like, but that's not the problem because nobody talks about that. The
Yeah.
problem is, please, everybody's happy wife, happy life. That's the thing.
I think
you know,
that's
so,
like what has kind of spawned this reaction from the whole like red pill movement.
yeah,
And people don't understand like when someone says red pill because it can mean so many different things.
Yeah.
I think they don't understand like the red pill refers to, of course, it refers to the matrix, but it's about being awoken, or the real version of woke to something that you've been programmed to. It's kind of like we talk about breaking spells over people all the time on this podcast. Like that, like a lot of our mission was to expose things, to break spells that we've just kind of blindly been brought under our whole lives. That's what being red pilled is. So it can apply to any arena, and the red pill community, so to speak, on YouTube is just the arena of dating. It's about waking up to the fact that you've been lied to, women and men, about what's important in dating. You know what I mean? So I think like you're seeing this whole pushback against that mindset of like happy wife, happy life, which has created this whole red pill movement where people now dig into statistics about marriage and divorce rates and children out of wedlock and child support laws and all these things that are making people figure out like, is it even worth it to get married anymore?
Yeah.
Which is a topic that we wanted to talk about eventually.
Yeah, that's. I'm just saying it. I'm saying that, but I mean it on a political level because, on a politeness level. Because you even think about like, people are always hiding in their fear of trying to please people.
Yeah.
Trying to be polite, not wanting to offend people, because they feel safe there.
Right.
That's why I say it's really a fear, because it's like you're really trying to be safe. you
Yeah.
know? And the connection to like the happy wife thing is nice guys. They always nice guys finish last, which is true. Because they're always looking to be polite, know. And so I saw this. There was this study done about. I don't know if y'all heard about this. This study done about men who cry.
No.
And how like women after men cry, like
They're not attracted to
they're
them
not
anymore.
attracted. Yeah,
I have heard of this. Yes.
yeah, they lose respect for
Yeah.
them.
So it's like, but that because I've heard in the red pill community that's like you can't even trust women to tell you what they want because they're programmed to believe that they want a man to be vulnerable and emotional and to cry in front of them. But as
That's
soon
not
as it
really what they
happens, they don't want that man anymore. Yeah. Right.
Because they seem weak.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's true, like, on a major scale. I think I don't think it's true when you really get down to it.
Yeah.
Because men should be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
But when you learn, like, it's opposite, like in the world, we always say, you know, in the world it's upside down. So
Yeah.
like in the world you think that your strength is where the power is, but we know, like, as Christians, our power is actually in our vulnerability.
Yeah.
As we're vulnerable and we're weak, we learn how to be strong in God.
Yeah.
We learn how to give up our strength, right? And then we receive strength. So what I'm saying is, like, you can't please people politically because then you just become a bad leader.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Just like you can't please your wife because you become a bad leader. You have to, how do you do the best? You have to lay down your own life. You have to be weak, be vulnerable, and then you can lead. You know, it's like that self-sacrifice, literally what Jesus did.
I think that's one of the biggest problems in our political, like, dynamic now in this country is that most politicians, if not damn near all of them, are leading based off of what's going to please people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they aren't
they're
good
worried about the
leaders.
votes.
In fact,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're looking at poll numbers. They're like, okay, let's hold our position on this until the polls come out, and then we can figure out what people want, and then we'll tell them what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Right.
Instead of leading, you know. And when you see the ones that are willing to step out there and be leaders, what's up, John? John?
Yep.
The ones that are willing to step out there and be leaders, everyone else is like, yo, what are you doing? You know what I mean? That guy's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you look at a DeSantis, you look at
everybody go against him.
yeah, that guy, he's dangerous.
Yeah.
He's gonna destroy our democracy.
Yeah, you
Smear
hear that
them.
now about the Italian prime minister. that just got
Yes,
elected.
dude.
First
Yes.
female.
First female prime minister,
Yeah.
and they're acting.
Conservative.
They're,
Thank you, Lacey.
they're saying, you know, I saw the Babylon Bee did a meme saying, women are under siege as the first female prime minister is elected. But when you listen to what she's talking about, me and Jake were just talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
When you listen to, like, what she's saying in her speeches, she's talking about things we all value and care about. She's
Right.
talking about family. She's
Right.
talking about country. She's talking about identity in, like, where you come from and being proud of those things. She brought up George Soros. I don't know if you
Yeah,
saw
I've
this,
seen
like,
it, yeah.
not being a slave to consumerism. You know what I
Right,
mean?
Right.
All of that equals she's a right-wing fascist.
Yep. Get her.
Get her out of here.
Get her out of here.
But-
That's all you hear from mainstream. Now.
Yeah.
She's
That's-
fascist.
That's the fear. And that's what, like, if men have no backbone, they won't stand for anything. And they can't be the standard.
Yeah.
You know, women are looking for. It's funny, like, I was watching this thing. It was a podcast, and women were talking about men, and they were talking about, like, you can't lower your standard. But I'm like, okay, but what is your standard?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what? And then, like, when you ask people, they don't even know.
Yeah.
You know. But then there's like, okay, so what? And when you
Well, their
ask them,
standards are all based off superficial.
they're superficial.
Yeah,
Yes. And it's not. And superficial doesn't mean, like, I'm not talking about looks.
Yeah.
Superficial, we're talking about, oh, they have to be this. They have to have.
How successful are
Yeah.
you? How tall are you? What's your bank account? What's
Right.
your status? Yeah. And this goes back to what you were saying, that when those are your standards, then it can be easier for you to fall victim to that mindset that we were talking about earlier, where it's like where you don't know what you really want. You know what I mean? You compromise on those things. I'm staying trying to tiptoe around the camera. Like, we were just talking about this earlier, where I just lost it. I don't know. What were you? You were just saying, like, it doesn't happen if you have a deeper connection. and we were talking about something in relationships. I lost it for some reason.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about the crying thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, exactly. So a woman who is only attracted to a man based off of superficial things, it's easy for something like that to turn her off and now no longer have that connection.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because it's the image that she thought.
Right.
And even that had been given to her.
Yeah.
Like it had been. It's not like
It's sold to her, yeah.
yeah, and that's what a lot of times people don't get. Like even that thing that you hold a standard to, that was seduction.
Yeah.
You know, that was something that somebody sold you on,
Mm.
right? And then so if you look like, especially in our generation, like women have gotten the power in a way where men are like chasing after women. So
Well,
now
that's men's fault though, right? Men
yeah,
have given
absolutely,
that up. Yeah.
absolutely. But it was a push, you know, with feminism.
Yeah, of course.
So because when things like obviously there was an issue with women not having the rights that they deserved,
Mhm.
right? But then you always, again, you can't please people.
Yeah.
So like, there's issues, but then you go too far.
Yeah.
Now you're picking everything apart.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Now you're picking men apart, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you're picking everything apart. You know, that's disrespectful. You know, that's dishonorable, and that's what happens all the time. Like with kids too. If you allow kids to be disrespectful, they're gonna pick you apart.
Mhm.
They're gonna and they're gonna think they can. You ever come up to a kid who you know probably doesn't have a dad in his life? Like we've dealt with this stuff, you know, like especially in the hood or in the ghetto. You always get them kids that come up to you and they'll say the slickest stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And that's like what they're used to. And they think you're gonna play that game. And the moment you stop them, like, hold up, what? You don't talk to me like that.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh. Like
Right.
they immediately
They're not used to that.
They're
on
not
the
used
opposite
to
side
it.
of
Right.
that, I've had, you know, Caucasian friends
Right.
where they just say whatever. The dad can be in the house, the mom can be in the house,
And there's no boundaries,
There's no
yeah.
boundaries.
Mm.
You know, there's
That's
levels,
disrespect
there's
on the
levels
other
to that.
side.
and then I'm looking at him like, you talk to your parents like that? You don't
Yeah.
get an ass whooping?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. On the other end, yeah. And you don't have that, so then you have a dissent in the household, and there's a lack of respect because there's no leader, there's no standard, you know, and people think that leader is about strength. No, it's not well, it is about strength, but I mean strength in the way of physicality, which isn't the case. It's actually being able to not break under pressure. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest, not breaking when things are going crazy. You're able to hold it together. And that is a strength that comes from God,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, man.
And you look at this country, like COVID, everything, that's what's been happening. Like they get you to be fearful and they get you to run in the direction they want you to run in.
Yeah. Concede.
And then when you're not doing the same thing and you're standing, they're screaming at you and calling you all kinds of names. That sounds like a disrespectful wife.
Yeah.
That is mad because you're not pleasing
not-
them the way
yeah.
they want you to. you
Doing
know?
exactly what they want you to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a video today on Twitter of someone reading an op-ed from a journalist from Australia who was basically writing this letter to like saying like it's time that we honor the people that didn't get vaccinated because they stood the ground that none of us were willing to stand, and we need to be honest about the fact that we were wrong for shunning these people,
Right.
you know, threatening these people. Like this is from a vaccinated person.
So this is in Australia?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
Let me
too.
see if I can
Yeah.
find it.
'Cause they were locked down pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So they were actually giving a little bit of honor to people who
Yeah.
who didn't take.
Right. Because they just found out we already knew that the nanoparticles don't stay in your arm.
Yeah.
Goes throughout the body.
Right,
So-
and now they're getting those studies of breast milk, finding out that there's the messenger RNA is in the breast
it's
milk.
in the breast milk. JAMA just came out with that study.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
now they're trying to push ahead to have all pregnant women get vaccinated.
Yeah.
Boosted at least. Like, no, it's a crap product. You shouldn't use it, in my opinion.
No, it's not opinion.
Hey, he's saying that
He
for
speaks for
he's
us.
saying that for the algorithm.
I know, but I'm saying not opinion.
Right.
It's just what it is.
Yeah.
It is
It's
what
the
it
truth,
is.
yeah. But then they started talking about the blood supply and then how that's going to be affected. Like, vaccinated blood versus unvaccinated blood. Which one do you give? Because you're going to run out.
Right.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that. Roll rag.
Yeah.
They're going to want more pure bloods.
You want that zombie blood?
I was showing y'all before about all the memes that were going viral. This was like probably 6 months ago about like how unvaxxed sperm is going to be more expensive than
I remember
Bitcoin.
that.
Yeah. Here, Lisa, can you bring this up?
John.
Oh, John's here. I forgot.
You should have
To
switched the
embarrass,
camera on you.
ridicule, mock, and tear down. We
All
should
right,
all
here we go.
people we try to embarrass, ridicule, mock, and tear down. We should all try and find some inner gratitude for the unvaccinated as we took the bait by hating them because their perseverance and courage bought us the time to see we were wrong. So if mandates ever return for COVID or any other disease or virus, hopefully more of us will be awake and see the rising authoritarianism that has no concern for our well-being and is more about power and control. The war of the unvaccinated was lost, on the unvaccinated was lost, and we should all be very thankful for that.
Yeah, it's longer than that. That's
Right.
just a short clip of it, but it's basically like they wrote this op-ed just basically like saying like, yeah, we were wrong. You know what I mean? And
Why do you think it's so hard for people to admit that they were wrong or
that's just human nature, man.
Pride, man.
It's pride. It's when you buy into an idea. You know, it's the same reason why you have such a split in this country now, such a fracturing. It almost seems like there's no coming back from.
right?
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because people are being attached to their team so hard that it's like
Yeah.
no matter what happens, I'm never gonna
I
admit
can't
that
be wrong.
I'm never admit it.
Even
just-
though I know it,
I
just
can
can't
know
admit
it. Dude, hold up. I got this video. Let me show y'all a prime example of this.
Mm.
I don't know if y'all have seen this. This woman, yo.
Fucking dollars.
So keep in mind, there's a little bit of profanity in this. This woman is going off
Hide
because
your wife, hide your kids.
this woman's going off because she just had to spend almost $100 to fill her tank on gas. Okay, and just watch how
It's
this.
fucking dollars. 98 fucking dollars. I have to decide between buying gas or buying food. And guess who wins? Because I have to get to the job that I need to fucking buy anything at all. That doesn't pay me enough. And people want to donate $1,000 to fucking cats. 98 goddamn dollars at Costco to fill up my tank. $98. $5.50 a tank. $5.50 a gas.
Now let's just make a like. Who do you think? Do you think that this person voted for these policies?
I was just gonna say, seems like I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I
Is
don't
that a Karen?
but
From the
let's just
cul-de-sac?
keep. You'll see.
Gallon at Costco. $5.50 a gallon at Costco. This is the work of the fucking religious right.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
Whoa.
How
Wow.
do you come to that conclusion?
One.
1, 2. Yeah, right. The equation in your mind.
Oh
How'd
man.
she come up with that?
Bro, the religious right did this?
Where did she pull that one from? Like,
But this is what I'm saying. When you've
Wow.
been fractured that far and when you've been divided that much, where it's like even if it's the direct result of the thing that I wanted, I can still blame you.
Yeah.
that's crazy. That's it.
Yeah.
Like you voted for the dude
derangement,
that
it seems
told
like.
you
Yeah,
he's gonna
that
get
he
rid
was
of
gonna
fossil
do
fuels.
it, yeah.
He told you he's gonna close the Keystone Pipeline. He told you that all of the things that he's doing, the ESG stuff that we were talking about earlier today, all of these climate accords, all of these things, the energy sector, the way they're changing policies and with these corporations to make it harder for them to produce things because of the credit score system that they're putting in place. These are things that y'all voted for.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Does she explain? Probably not.
No, she doesn't. Let's just I'll keep playing it, so you can.
Wow.
Fuck you! Religious right!
What
who
is
are
on
doing
her
this and
eye?
have been doing this to us. Fuck you, profiteering
Is that her
companies.
eyebrow?
Fuck you,
That's her
billionaires.
eyebrows.
Stealing us, breaking our backs. Stealing
Her
from
nose
us.
job.
Profiteering off of us. Let me repeat, I have to decide between buying food or gas. Guess which one wins?
I, too, used to be afflicted with fits of rage. That was until I discovered the new supplement called Sit the Fuck Down, You Did This to Yourself. Just take 2 of these Sit the Fuck Down, You Did This to Yourself, and look in the mirror, and you'll slowly start to see the part you might have played to get to where we are right now. Sit the fuck down, because realization is the first step towards recovery.
There was no need for that.
Yeah. Well, that was a reaction, of course, to her video. But the point is, for her to be that irate about the gas prices that she has to pay, and then her first inkling is to blame not only just
the
conservatives,
right.
not just like Republican policies, Donald Trump. Even if she would have said this is Donald Trump's fault,
Still
she
wrong.
went
but
to religious
where'd
right.
you get religious from?
How? What was?
Because that's what CNN and MSNBC told her.
Right.
No way. Really?
That's what they told her. That's what they've been telling her.
I would like to
For
sit down and ask her.
That's the programming that they've been putting out.
Look here, ma'am. Explain to me how you came to that conclusion.
She did explain it. She yelled at you.
Meanwhile, what she don't understand,
She was possessed, yo. It seemed like, dude.
they're trying to force people into electric vehicles.
Right.
And
All issues in Cali.
yeah, again, the place
I
we're
was gonna
going,
send
a
you
place we're going.
All
a
issues.
picture of a Tesla line.
Dude, pull this up, John. Yeah, I showed this to Jake earlier. So of course, California is already, they're about to ban gasoline vehicles by 2035, right? Already, this is a charge. This
the sell
the selling of
the
the
selling,
new sales, but this is aligned to a charging station in California.
Can you just go to another state and buy a gas
yeah.
vehicle?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
could.
you can.
You could, but they might not have any gas stations though for you to pump.
Until they ban it.
What you say, John?
I said you could, but that's a far way.
Yeah, California's a big state.
It's 8 hours to Arizona, so you know what I mean.
Yeah. It is a
Yeah,
make
4.5
it
to
on
Las
the closest is Nevada. Yeah,
Yeah, go to Las Vegas
Yeah.
and get a
but
car.
then you won't have nowhere to fill it up probably.
And
'cause
then you gotta pay the tax when
That's
you come back
true.
over. The tax to California on the car, is crazy.
dude,
There's
I
gonna
was
be a
just-
lot of people leaving.
I was talking to Dave earlier, like we were talking about like, yo, it's not even worth it to do shows in California because
Wow.
you know how much they tax us
'Cause
just to do the show there?
wow.
Like it's crazy, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are they? Look at what they're doing. They're keeping people from coming in
Yeah.
to make money,
And then trying to stop you
Right.
from leaving.
and they're keeping people from coming in to build businesses
Yeah.
there to make money. They're overtaxing,
Yeah.
Over-regulating.
over regulation.
They tried to pass that. They tried to get that bill passed for an exit tax. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
No, I didn't hear.
Didn't
If-
it work?
I don't know if they got it
Because
passed.
Jersey did something like that, I want to say.
I know they were trying to stick Rogan with that and
Yeah.
Elon,
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro, all these people. Like if you move your company out, you have to pay like some huge
Yeah,
exit tax.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But anyway, let's look at this video of the situation already with just the electric vehicles that are in circulation now. Because it takes a long time. You can't just fill up and move. Like it takes a while to charge these cars.
Yes.
45 minutes at least.
Right.
So
if you have that type of charge.
yes. So this is the line to charge your vehicle.
They're nice cars.
Oh,
them
they're all
Teslas.
nice. There's a few that aren't Teslas in that mix, but
Wow.
yeah. Oh, it ain't over yet, bro. Keeps going.
Wow. Wow.
It keeps going.
We should get a Owen Wilson button. Wow. Wow.
Yes.
All these people
And look,
waiting.
some of them are down.
Yep.
Some of the stations are down, it looks like.
Yep.
Like, hey,
Been
Yeah,
here
man.
for
we
2
just gonna
hours.
sit here.
Yep. And you can go right to your gasoline station, be in and out. But yeah, I mean, this is another example of like, sounds good in theory,
Yeah,
not thought all the way through.
right. It can be a compliment to gas.
Yeah, but
Electric can. It
but
can't be the
even
main-
trying to call it a solution to fossil fuels is ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we all know how these batteries need to be mined.
Right.
We all know how even to power the grid to charge these cars
Yes.
is based off of fossil fuels.
Yes.
I mean,
And then they banned the charge or the between certain times you can't fill up
Yeah.
peak times.
how many people?
You,
When they-
you said fill up.
Yeah.
Charge up.
Charge up.
How many people when they were young? I would say more like. I don't want to say a color, more of a. I'll say upper middle class people. How many upper middle class people thought that they could change the world
A lot.
when they were kids?
A lot.
And it was their own virtue. Like,
Mhm.
I'm going to change the world,
Right.
right? It sounds good in theory,
Yeah.
right? Sounds good until you go out and you try to attempt it, and it's like, oh, it's not as
That
easy.
doesn't work.
Yeah. And not to say that things can't shift and things can't change. I definitely believe that. That's why, that's the whole point of the Lord, of Jesus. But my issue is that, like, there's no respect, there's no honor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people just, a disrespectful kid is going to be like, F you, Dad. I'm
Right.
going out on my own,
Yeah.
and I'm going to do this myself,
You're
and
right.
I'm going to show you,
You're right.
right? And then it's like, all right, see how that works out for you,
Yep.
you know?
You have
And
no understanding on how the world works.
did y'all ever, there was a movie that just came out. I don't know if it just came out, but it was about National Lampoons.
I haven't seen it.
So National Lampoons, it was the movies. We
Mhm.
know it from the movies that came out in the 80s.
Right.
Animal
Yeah,
House.
Family Vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caddyshack.
Christmas Vacation. All those.
Yeah. So that started, I forget the name of the guy, but it started as a magazine.
Mm.
First, it started as like a publication for Harvard, right? So you have these upper middle class guys that started this, right? And the one guy who kind of was like the main guy, there were two guys, but then this guy continued in it. I can't remember his name because it kind of sucks, but in the movie, it shows like his relationship with his dad the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And like even his jokes. So dude never takes anything seriously, right? His marriage, he cheats on his wife like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but he never, you can see how he never really wants to deal with what his issues. He never wants to deal with his feelings. So Caddyshack comes out, right?
Yeah.
And he kind of like broke in that because you know, if you've seen Caddyshack, they got like the little gopher,
Yeah.
right? He didn't want that gopher in the movie,
Oh.
but the producer like made him put it in the executive producer made him put that in the movie, so he like basically trashed the movie because of that, and they changed some stuff. They kicked him out after that. They got into a huge fight.
Wow.
And he basically got drunk. He had issues with drinking, all this stuff. So he goes to Hawaii to kind of like get away from everything. He ends up killing himself. Right? He never dealt with any of this stuff. He was always his whole life trying to prove. I mean, that's what they were showing in the movie. Like he was always trying to prove himself to
his dad.
His
wrong.
dad.
Yeah.
Prove to his dad, like, look, Dad, I did something. Like even when he was successful, he bought his parents a big house, put in a pool, and his dad was like still like this, you know,
Criticizing it.
like why aren't you proud of him? Like, how would I be proud of him? The stuff he's putting out.
Yeah.
He's got naked girls in his magazine. You know, like he was never satisfied because he thought it wasn't respectful.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it's like if you have a daughter and she's on OnlyFans, but she buys you a house, you're still gonna be like.
But he took the house though.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But yeah, so my point is that like that whole movie, like he was successful, but it ended in a sad way because none of that ever mattered.
Mm-hmm.
Like it only took the right trigger for him to give up his life.
Yeah.
So how much was he always on the edge of giving up his life because he had to prove? It wasn't really about proving to others; it was about proving to himself. And when he realized that he didn't believe his own stuff he was trying to prove, he gave up his life.
Wow.
And that's sad, man. And he was successful. You know, to the world standards, he was successful. How many people?
That is a tried and true story though. Like, you know.
But this is what California is. Like those are the type of people that kind of made the whole Hollywood scene, and you know, that's what it's become. And you see how, like, you know, even San Francisco, you know, but now you see how all that stuff is just breaking down.
Nancy Pelosi's district.
Yeah.
Silicon
You see,
Valley.
she got booed.
Oh yeah, I got that video. Yeah, I got that video.
That was in New York, right?
Nancy Pelosi.
As Speaker of the House, I am here to thank you for your dazzling attitude, entrepreneurial thinking, and determination.
It's so funny because like she's been in politics so long that she knows like don't even address it, just keep talking, act like it's not there.
Global citizens, it's in a responsible way. Your actions help make this happen. And I'm here to say,
Yo,
Guys, with urgent action, we can actually turn this ship around and defend our planet. Let's listen to some amazing music. Thank you.
Yo, I really think like this is why I think they're trying so hard to control all of media, control all of the things that we see, because they're losing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All of these ideas are starting to just become obviously wrong. And people are waking up to it, especially younger people.
Yeah. It seems like it's happening quicker.
Yeah.
Too.
And if it wasn't for like people with cell phone cameras all the time,
Right.
we would have never seen this. No one would know Nancy Pelosi got booed off stage pretty much, like drowned out with booze in New York,
In
dude.
New York,
I was just gonna ask where it was.
At the Global Music Fest or
Something like that. Yeah. Like one of the clips that I saw, you could hear a guy saying like, "It's Nancy Pelosi. Why are they booing?" And I get it. Like some of that is also just when people are young, they want to rebel and they boo the leaders. You know, the establishment. Yeah, exactly. We're anti-establishment. We're going to boo the leaders. But also, people are tired of it, man.
Yeah, they know better now. Well, are waking up to better now. She
Yeah.
got booed at something else where they interrupted her and was calling her a liar,
Oh yeah.
like chanting it. Like one dude would say you're a liar, and then the crowd would be like, "You're a liar."
And what she do? Just ignore it.
Yeah, well, she just sat there. And
Yeah.
took it.
That's what she does. She doesn't address it at all. Joe will address it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think she said,
That's
"Here's
his
why you're
pride.
wrong," but then they just kept going, so
Yeah.
she shut up.
His pride gets him.
Yeah, he can't.
Or
He
his
can't
old
help
age.
it. His ego.
Look here, Buster. Look here, Bal.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, it was Bow. It was
Yeah.
the foothills.
The foothills of the yeah, the foot. I got some good Joe videos this week.
I feel bad for
It's a
him.
shame, man.
I got some good Joes this week. Let's bring up the first one right here. This is speaking at the Global Fund. You know, you ever notice how many global things they're
Yeah,
doing now?
yeah.
That was just a global concert.
The
right?
global
That's right.
music concert.
That's right.
Clinton was just talking to the head of BlackRock at some global initiative.
There you go.
You know what I mean? For the Clinton Foundation, getting involved in global initiatives again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. We were just watching this thing with this investor who's talking about a lot of that stuff. Jake has some videos about that we're gonna show later, because he basically gets into like, and that's why I titled this like, do politics really matter? Because there's a lot of people that are like, yo, I don't care about politics. Politics are annoying to me. I don't really get into politics. But you don't understand how politics and these little things that you don't pay attention to, like the ESG, like the World Economic Forum, like these climate initiatives, how these are the things that are causing the inflation that we have right now.
Build back better.
Yeah,
You notice
these
they
are the
don't
things.
say that anymore.
These are the things that if you have assets, if you have property, if you have money in the bank, why it's not going to be worth anything in 10 years, because all of these moves that they're making politically. That's why it's important to know who you're voting for, because you can literally put a mayor in place, a governor in place that renders all of your property useless, all of your assets worthless. Your business could just be totally wiped out, like they did over COVID.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you lived in Florida,
Yeah.
good thing you elected. Imagine if they elected
The other dude.
the other dude, Gillum. Yo, just think about it, because me and you were talking earlier about how like Florida and Texas. I saw a video of Dana White talking to Tucker also about how like Florida was one of the states that saved the UFC, and a lot of his employees were able to work and pay their bills because he could do events. Imagine a lot of the reason why a lot of these other states had to open back up is because Florida did,
Right.
and Texas did. You know what I mean? Imagine if they elected Gillum in Florida.
Yeah.
We would be in a different world right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you,
This
DeSantis.
close
Thank
to
you,
electing a
DeSantis.
dude that was on a yacht party where 280-pound drunk gay dude passed out and almost died on his yacht. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the guy that Obama and Oprah Winfrey got out there and backed and said, y'all should vote for this guy. A married guy who's partying with a bunch of gay dudes on a yacht, and one of them ODs on drugs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't he do a line off of a gay hooker's ass?
Yes.
That's the black dude, right?
Like, ew.
But that's why.
who's
But
gonna
that's
get
why
in office.
politics matter. Because if you don't pay attention, so man, you're one of those people. I don't really get involved in politics. You don't get out there. You don't pay attention. Now a bunch of the people that live in Florida don't pay attention. That dude gets elected because Obama said. It's a different world.
How did that happen?
Yeah.
Well, you weren't paying attention.
You weren't paying attention. You didn't think it mattered.
Yep.
You didn't think it mattered. So now, whatever business you had in Florida, done. You know what I mean? Look at the people that had that gym in Jersey. All the things they had to go through because of the governor that we had.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even the local
governor we have.
Even the local police force was willing to stand up for them. He just brought in state boys to handle his dirty work. Y'all ain't willing to do it? I got somebody that'll do it.
Yeah. And he was this close to being knocked out of office.
Yeah.
But it was just too many people asleep.
Yep.
You know, I might have been some stuff going on there too. But but regardless, it shouldn't. like the stuff he did.
And the stuff he's been about, the stuff he wants to do, he wants to implement, the things he's doing now.
How many people were paying attention to this stuff?
None.
The fact that Newsom is still there.
Yeah. Dude, they're talking about. Did I share that with y'all about how The View was saying that the best ticket for 2024 would be Gavin Newsom and Stacey Abrams?
Yeah.
They're delusional.
Yep. I don't know why they. Well, I know why they still have a talk show, but it's for programming.
Dude,
but
to really think that Gavin Newsom almost just got recalled in California and almost lost to Larry Elder.
Yep.
You really think he has a chance to win the presidency? That's
down.
delusional.
Yeah. Doubling down on dumb.
I just seen a video of Stacey Abrams talking about.
Oh, I have that video, brother. I know what you about.
The heartbeat thing.
Yes, because this is another tactic that they're doing right now.
I can't stand
this
it. This
is why politics matter.
Me either.
They're trying to change the definition of what a heartbeat is.
Yeah.
So that these heartbeat bills cannot be effective.
How crazy is that? Change the definition. Just change the language.
It's called gaslighting.
They do it all the time.
Yeah.
They change. What do we just go through them changing the definition of what a vaccine is?
Yep.
Changing the definition of how many things have we talked on this podcast about? They just changed the definition.
Yep. And it comes from that attitude. I just don't. I don't do that, man.
Yeah. I don't care about that, man.
Yo,
what was the score with the game, bro?
Yeah.
Okay. How many touchdown passes did what's his name throw? Okay. How many yards did
you know about that?
I'm just saying,
about the stats?
like you can
want to know.
You want to know.
Yeah.
You want to know all the stats. You want to be up on all of that.
But
it's
something that has nothing. It has no effect on your life.
None of it's gonna mess with you.
Yeah.
But all this stuff
Because
is
they don't-
affecting our lives. Right
Yeah.
now.
Because they don't want to, dude. Like,
But
the games, the gladiator games.
Yeah.
It's for them
bread
to
and circus.
right.
for them to escape.
But I'll say this.
They know. Like a lot of people know. Like our friend that we work out with, he said that, I have a daughter. I don't want to know that, there's, a Jeffrey Epstein. I'd rather think it's rainbow and butterflies.
Right.
But how does that help you?
Problem,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Well, I mean, he sounds like the dude in Matrix that wants to just keep eating his steak.
Eat the steak and potatoes.
Listen, just make sure I'm rich. I get my mansion, my women, my steak and potatoes. I don't care.
Right. That's the problem.
Let's play this video so y'all can see in full context what she said, because it's even crazier than her changing the definition of what heartbeat is. Because this is what she's saying is based off of Planned Parenthood changing the definition. But then she goes into something even crazier. Okay. Which has become a meme. People are making memes about this.
There is no such thing as a heartbeat at 6 weeks. It is a manufactured sound designed to convince people that men have the right to take control of a woman's body away from her.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
So she's saying
men like
she said it's a manufactured sound.
Yes.
Like saying they're not really finding a heartbeat through the ultrasound.
They're making it.
They're making it up so that men can control.
So that, but that's what
what
what's
a woman
crazy
can
to
do
me.
for
She went from that to men.
Yes.
Like
yes.
And what were we just talking about? Like, come on.
Yeah.
You think they're not trying to take away men's power?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You think they're not trying to destabilize?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
It's ridiculous.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lord. When I look at her, I'm just like completely disgusted by everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just keep thinking about that glowing article that they wrote of her where she was like in the silhouette with the cape on.
Yeah.
Remember they were trying to make her like some kind of superhero. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean,
how would they?
These are the things that I think, like, Psalms 2 is about, like, how
Wait, so you guys have to.
God laughs at the plans and plots that the kings have and these elite people have,
Yeah.
Because in the end, like, and that's what I wanted to say, that it only takes a few.
Yeah.
It only takes a few to stand their ground. It only takes a few, just like it only took a few states.
Yeah.
Right? It only took a few states
to hold the line.
to hold it.
Mm-hmm.
Or else.
And actually, it only took a few governors
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I would give it to who's the chick from Wisconsin? Not Wisconsin. I'm sorry. South Dakota.
Yeah, I can see her.
Gnome.
Oh, yeah, they
Gnome.
stayed-
Christy
yeah.
Gnome.
Christy Gnome.
They stayed open.
Christy Gnome.
Yeah, stayed
Yeah.
open the whole time.
DeSantis.
DeSantis and Greg Abbott.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Like those three, and if you remember, they were saying that these people were
They
the
were
devil.
bashing them.
They're gonna
Yeah.
kill all these people. It's a death cult.
Yeah.
All these things
Yeah.
that never turned out to be true.
But what did they do? They became the standard.
Yeah.
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 Became the standard. Right? You got, where's your standard? Right?
To those that are willing to see, because I remember the View to this day still said that DeSantis is a fascist.
Right.
So
Yeah.
That's because
Right,
to them
but-
they changed the definition of what a fascist is.
that's
So,
true.
You know,
Yes.
But they're always gonna do. You're not gonna. That's gonna always be.
Yeah.
Right? You can't change that. What I'm saying is that when you become the standard, people start to pay attention because it's about results.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about rainbows and butterflies. You know what I mean?
Let me show y'all this real quick because I thought this was interesting. Simultaneously, as Stacey Abrams, this story was going viral about what she said. This story was going viral about this new technology that they figured out.
To know if babies in the womb react when the mom ingests a flavor of food. And this is what they saw. Do you want to guess what was on the left? So the left is a baby in its resting state. And then on the right, you see how he smiles 20 minutes? The mom ate some carrots.
On the left with the,
That was just a resting state.
that was the resting, but he liked the carrots.
She had like a carrot pill.
So were there other foods?
Yes, there were other foods. I'm glad you asked. You want to look at this baby's
Sure.
reaction before? Mom had kale.
Wow, wow.
So here's the thing.
What about if mom had had ice cream?
I don't know.
Why would they go? Why would they go with?
Let me
with carrots
explain.
and vegetables.
So the SETI's co-author says the images could just show muscle movements when a baby.
So
I like how they're using correct terms though.
yeah,
Mom,
baby.
you
But
know.
it was just funny that it's like, because actually, I think Anomaly tweeted this, and his caption was, "That's cute. When is Stacey Abrams gonna abort it?" Because it's like,
Yeah, he's crazy. Yo. He's crazy.
because
It's
it's
the
like,
truth. But that's what they want.
yeah, it's is it a baby?
Yeah.
Right. It's a baby when you want it to be.
What you want it to
Yeah.
be,
And then you totally forget about abortion.
right? Then it's cute. Oh, we want to see the facial expressions,
Right. And that's what's crazy.
Yeah.
That's what make, like, how do you not? I've always thought about that.
Compartmentalizing
I've
it.
always thought about that. Like all these people who, when they want to have a baby, then everything's
magical,
just
yeah.
magical.
Magical, yeah.
Right.
Oh, I'm trying to have a baby.
Yeah.
You know, and then when you don't want to have a baby, it's my right.
Yeah,
And you're
yeah.
just,
It's a clump of cells.
Yeah, clump of cells.
it's just
It
crazy.
doesn't have
how-
life. It doesn't have a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Because what they did was how they changed the definition technically was that a heartbeat has to do with valves opening and closing in the heart, and those valves don't exist in a baby of that size. So it's more of an electrical pulse that you're monitoring when you hear the ultrasound.
Right.
So that's how they're making the distinction. It's
So
not
they're
technically a
reaching
heartbeat.
is what
You know what I
they're
mean?
doing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's reach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're reaching
No,
out
it's a
there.
heart. It's a heart.
It's a
They're
heart.
reaching
it's
out
always
there.
been a heart,
But-
cardiac activity.
Every time you go, all of us have had kids.
Right.
When you go there, we're gonna find the baby's heartbeat, and then you hear that little, and you're like, oh, that's the heartbeat. You know what I mean?
That wasn't Jose in the back making that
Yeah,
sound.
right. Jose's back.
Well, I gotta be Jose.
Manufactured sound.
I gotta be Jose, bro.
Cheap labor, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, so I wanted to show y'all this too, because this was crazy, bro.
see how
So-
they use the immigrants?
So we always make these distinctions with babies and getting pregnant.
I was gonna send you this. I was like,
The
oh,
butt baby.
I was gonna send you this.
Yo,
Yep.
so this is
Oh,
a prosthetic baby that can be inserted deep into the loving embrace of the rectum,
What?
Oh
where
my!
a trans woman can experience and celebrate the miracle of childbirth.
That can't be real.
Bro,
Oh, it's real.
It's real. Okay?
It's a prosthetic baby.
Think about it now.
Think about it, that a trans woman can insert
So she's pooping.
Yes, pooping out a
No,
baby,
sir.
No, she is
No.
experiencing
She is
the miracle of
Yes.
childbirth.
Childbirth.
The butt
So,
baby.
You're not supposed to put stuff up the rectum.
Right. But they're gonna put a baby in there.
No, it literally says the butt baby.
No, but the way you said it was like a.
It's like an
commercial.
infomercial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The butt baby.
It comes in 3 different shades. Choc. It comes in brown, white, and what the hell is that? Alien black? What is
Cold.
that?
It's cold.
Is that the fly? Remember the movie The Fly when she gives birth to that black sack of what is that?
This.
Hell yeah.
That was
Dude.
a horrible
Disgusting.
movie.
I know. Yo. I saw this. I was like,
Crazy world,
bro,
man. Like,
clown world.
yeah.
Clown
Wait a minute.
world.
Wait.
Romans is fully alive, man.
It just stays there until. How long does it stay there?
I don't
Is
know.
it like, do you keep
I don't know all
it,
the ins and outs.
do you do it for like,
no
a
pun
day?
intended.
You do it for like a day, or you stick it up there and then it comes right out, or
No.
Hey, I don't think you can leave it in for 9 months.
You gotta enjoy the process.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like your
Bro.
body has to do what it's got to do.
Dude, it's called
From day to day.
It's called catering to delusion
Yeah.
to the extreme.
There's stuff in the Bible that talks about let not these things even be mentioned.
Right.
Right.
It's like, yo,
Be
think
even
about it.
talked
When you
about,
have a
like-
kid, right, and they want to pretend to be something or do something, you do these little things with them. Like, you're like, oh, yeah, we're cooking, right? Oh, and look,
Yeah, we're
now we
really
made a
drinking-
sandwich.
we're
Oh,
drinking fake
and
tea.
yeah. Oh, and we made tea. Oh, and we made these cookies, and now they're made. You know what I mean? It's like, that's literally what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're
we're gonna
pretending.
we're gonna adopt a child, but you want to feel like you had a baby because you can't really have a
Yeah.
baby. So we're gonna do this, and then you poop it out, and then look, you had a baby.
baby.
Don't you
were just
feel
like
the
a
miracle?
female.
Do
Yeah.
you notice like when kids they do that, the pretending to make a meal for you,
Yeah,
their faces and how they feel like they did something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, but they're kids, so it's like you let that
yes.
because it's like, all right, yeah, good. But these are grown adults.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or they're growing up to be adults.
It's
It just doesn't make
it's. I'm just saying, like, what happens, right? if you grow, like, a weird connection with this thing that was up your butt.
I don't think it's
And-
up there
and-
long enough for that, bro.
But I'm just thinking the mind. You know what I mean? Like how fractured or how
Warped.
warped it is. You're thinking it's a real baby, and you're taking care of a.
Dude, but haven't you seen the dudes that like buy those sex dolls that really treat them as if that's their girlfriend?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the people in their family will just completely affirm this at every
I've never seen
You've
that.
never seen this?
No.
Yeah.
Dude,
I don't need to.
but I'm saying, like, there's like dudes that buy these dolls, they dress them up, they take them on the bus, they take them to their family's house to have dinner with everybody, take them on dates, take them to the movies, and it's like everyone's supposed to just be like, oh, that's your girlfriend? Oh, okay, what's her name?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
No. Are you serious?
bro, I'm not joking at all. This is real.
It's delusion,
Okay.
man. It's,
This is real.
See, yeah.
and then you see the nasty videos of the dudes trying to
It's
breastfeed, and the babies is like,
Yeah.
yeah.
nah, bro.
Yeah. There's
Crying.
It's mental illness. It's that show that you used to watch. all
Strange
the-
Addictions.
Yeah.
That's where
where
I
the
saw
one-
that show.
The
That's
one where the woman was like in love with a roller coaster.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She wanted to marry a roller coaster.
This is how we
married
get
a roller coaster.
Cat's name.
I saw
Cat's
one
him or
where
something.
a dude has sex with his car.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And then but when it gets to the point where it's like we're supposed to
Right.
affirm these
Agree
things.
with it and
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
just weird, man.
There's, we live in a country that, if that's what you want to do.
You're free to do it.
Courtney said, "Stop, y'all." Throw up emojis.
I think about it, like, isn't that where communities and households come in? You know what I mean? Like, to tell you, like, what's wrong with you?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where you need someone to snap you into reality.
Yeah.
But when you look at all of these experts that get these degrees in psychology and human behavior, they tell you that you can't do that because then you can do more damage. So you have to, you have to affirm these things in a lot of ways.
They'll outgrow it.
Based off of their vast knowledge of studies that make no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's look at this this video here from this person who describes some of the gender affirming surgery she offers to adolescents, including vaginoplasties, phalloplasties, and double mastectomies.
I was gonna say we should read one of these on here.
Why is there no audio?
The bottom surgery.
Why is there no audio? Okay. We got no audio. No, it's not.
Is it just the video?
Might just be the video, yeah. Try to reload it. Yeah, it's not working.
They might have blocked the audio.
It could have. Oh no, because that one's not working either. What's going on here?
Jordan said, "Why isn't it a butt clump of cells? A butt clump of cells."
Speaking of clump of cells, while I'm trying to get, let's see if this works. Yo, why do we have no? I just gotta. I don't understand what's going on here. Y'all hear the microphones, right?
Yeah.
Got this.
Rachel said, "I just opened YouTube and got smacked in the face with butt babies, and I'm mad at y'all."
Rachel's like, "That's gonna be a clip." Oh man.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's
You got the connection in?
Yeah, everything's working. Let me just try this again. There we go. Pull this up, John. Okay, let me mute this for copyright reasons. This is a whole song and music video about having abortions.
yeah.
Okay, and Mom sent this to me. I was like, "Yo, first of all, can we abort these eyelashes? Like, what is what? When is enough enough?
So
with the eyelashes, bro.
So the hook is, I got murder on my mind.
Murder on my mind, and it's in front of a Planned Parenthood.
Yeah. So that's what she's talking about. She's FREE from Baby Daddy.
Yeah, FREE from Baby Daddy.
FREE. What did I say? FRDD.
No, you said it. You said it. You spelled it right.
What's FREE?
And I'm free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a whole song about how she has money and she's free because she aborts the babies from the low life scoundrels that she sleeps with that has already has 5 baby mamas. I believe she said that in the song. You got 1 baby, 2 baby, 3 baby, 4. So how about you close your legs?
Yeah.
How about you don't sleep with
Stop
that?
sleeping with that dude.
She's like, I can't waste these eyelashes though, bruh.
Y'all talking some sense in a world of nonsense.
Well, we were talking about clump of cells, so I figured that was a good moment.
And you go on the comment section, it's like fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis.
Really?
You,
Though I think those are bots a lot of times, though, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
Well, yeah. If you're,
All right, let's play this video again. Let's get back to this. That was a good sidebar, though. Moan sent me that earlier. I figured I would. I had to see it, so y'all have to.
Yes.
You seen that already?
Unfortunately.
All right.
So male to female is taking a penis and essentially turning it into a vagina.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a very, functional result.
They're talking about in minors, by the way, just
Yeah.
so you understand.
This is
Patients have
considered
orgasmic
bottom
function and can have intercourse,
surgery.
and it looks actually cosmetically, patients are very satisfied. So we create a clitoris from a portion of the glans penis. The scrotal skin becomes the labia majora. A portion of the penile skin becomes the labia minora, and then we line the new vagina with the rest of the penile skin and sometimes a skin graft. So it's 5 hours in the operating room and about 6 to 8 weeks of recovery, but it's a one-stage operation and patients are overall very happy.
So that's not true. When you hear the stories of, I mean, I'm sure maybe in best case scenarios, people are happy, but I've heard all the horror stories from people who've got these surgeries where it's like the hole tries to close up. It's literally a wound. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they have to
the
keep
body's gonna do what it naturally does.
right. Like they have to keep something inserted in there so it keeps it from closing. I mean, you're talking about mutilation.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't there something? Oh no, that was where the college got busted for talking about keep doing the surgeries because it's a money maker. Pretty much.
Yeah. Did we play that last week or did I send that to y'all? I sent that to
was
y'all
Matt
last
Walsh,
week.
right?
Yeah, Matt Walsh, and they took that whole page down.
Yeah.
So that was a hospital actually,
Yeah.
where a woman was coming there to sell them on why should they allow these surgeries.
What university was that? It was a major one.
I don't remember.
Or hospital.
It was a hospital, yeah, but
It was a part of.
yeah, but she was basically telling them how much money there was to be made.
Yeah.
And not only in just the surgery, but also in the follow-up. Yeah.
Because you'll always have to do something.
Yeah.
And you'll always have to take something.
Yeah, you're constantly in need of medical attention. You're constantly in need of checkups. See if I can find it. But yeah. That's what people don't want to admit, that there's a huge money maker in this.
Mm-hmm.
It's Vanderbilt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were saying that if the one lady came out and said if it's against you have some moral issue or it's against your religion, then maybe this isn't the school for you.
Wow. And then I know after, because these were all like leaked videos of someone giving this seminar, and once Matt Walsh published all these stuff with all the thread breaking it down and everything, they totally took the page down, removed it from the internet. Here it is right here.
According to the Affordable Care Act, insurance carriers are mandated to cover medical expenses for trans folks. Some of our BUMC financial folks in October of 2016, started a couple of years ago, put down some costs of how much money we think each patient would bring in, and this is only including top surgery. This isn't including any bottom surgery, and it's a lot of money. These surgeries make a lot of money.
So if you're just listening to this is Vanderbilt opened its trans clinic in 2018. During a lecture the same year, Dr. Shane Taylor explained how she convinced Nashville to get into the gender transition game. She emphasized that it's a big money maker, especially because the surgeries require a lot of follow-up, like we were saying. And she's basically getting into that now.
It's a lot of money. These surgeries make a lot of money.
Just top.
So female to male chest reconstruction can bring in $40,000. A patient just on routine hormone treatment, who I'm only seeing a few times a year, can bring in several $1,000s. That requires a lot of visits and labs. It actually makes money for the hospital. Now these I got from the internet, but it's from the Philadelphia Center for Transgender Surgery, which does a lot of surgery for patients. And I just want to give you an idea of how much these bottom surgeries are making. And I think this has to be an underestimate. This is for a vaginoplasty. They're quoting roughly around $20,000 for a
And that's the surgery that other woman was just describing.
vaginoplasty, but that doesn't include your hospital stay. That doesn't include your
So I just want to point out the fact that like the reason why I think this is relevant and why we're talking about like politics and how politics play into all of this is because when people think that these institutions are literally just doing this because they care about people's health, it's literally a money maker.
Mental health. What
and
about
they
mental health?
will lobby politicians to pass certain rules and regulations and policies so that these hospitals can then do these surgeries and even try to get it tax funded if they can, because they can make, you hear how much money she's talking about just on the surgery alone.
40,000.
So these hospitals are gonna wanna, they're like, yeah, push this stuff. Yeah, that's why we keep showing more and more hospitals talking about how they're gonna start doing these surgeries. You know, because they know this is the future of money making for them. If they can, and then think about it, the more and more kids they can convince that this is something that you need to do.
Yeah, younger.
It's guaranteed money for the rest of their lives.
Yep, lifeline life.
It's gonna. Can you imagine like 10, 15 years from now, just to see the result of all this stuff?
Yeah, if they make it that long, because that's mental abuse.
Yeah.
Like I said, okay, we're going to make you temporarily happy. You come in, you get the surgery, you're happy. But no, you're not. You're always getting surgery.
Yeah.
Now you're going through depression.
We don't know. We're in uncharted waters with this stuff.
Yeah, so
like,
new.
We don't know how it's going to affect. Like, it's only been for, the last 30 years, maybe a little bit more than that this has been going on.
Yeah.
You know, so, like... There's generations that there's a few, you know, it's such a small part of the population, but as they push it more and more, you know, just like you look at how homosexuality has increased and how it's increasing. Same thing's happening with the trans movement.
Well, the trans thing is even more of an exponential. I think it's up like 400%. You know what I mean? And it's going up that much every year, which is like, you know, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so we don't know what can happen with this and where it can take people. And when you're allowing people to do stuff irresponsibly like this, like it's sad because the effects that it's gonna have, especially on young people.
I was gonna say not just it's the kids.
Yeah. This is sad,
you know,
man.
you got professionals and doctors saying that a baby knows what gender he is or he or she.
Right.
How do you know that?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
But this is why, again, you can't stay blind to it. You can't just
I don't get it.
Try not to pay attention to it.
Rainbows and butterflies.
Yeah. This is why it matters.
Yeah.
Because before you know it, one of them are sitting on your school board, and now it's in the
curriculum.
Yeah.
It's being taught to your kids without you knowing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how you know, like, this isn't about evil people. This is about destroying generations. This is, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. This is about something else.
Right.
It's about destroying generations. Oh, we can't. We're not going to be able to do abortions no more. Okay, let's do something else.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo, look at this real quick. It's so. So the U.S. filed a patent for some kind of protein. Just look at the name of this. Why is it always?
Always, yo.
Why is it always like? Why are they obsessed?
Something that's largely flown under the radar. A patent filed by the U.S. government for a new product containing luciferase. That's a bioluminescent material often used in COVID-19 research. There are now reportedly proposals to use this product to start tracking people's vaccination status with an injectable that would sit under the skin. Now, you've been digging into this issue. Can you tell us what you've learned so far?
Well, I think people get hung up on the freaky name of it because it, of course, it sounds like they're talking about Lucifer from the Bible being like the devil. And, naturally people are concerned about, among the religious community, they talk about the mark of the beast and things like that. And, they're legitimately worried about that. And, of course, the media has a field day trying to debunk it and so on. The reality is this: Luciferase, regardless of how you interpret it, right, just on the surface, it's a bioluminescent material contained in like lightning bugs and so on. And one of the reasons they want to use it for these marks they want to give people, and the Department of Homeland Security has filed a patent for it, and there's ongoing research on it. It's a lot of reporting on this. They have filed a patent for it, and they want to give people marks. And the reason they want to use Luciferase is because it's bioluminescent and shows up under UV light. And so they can scan you almost like a barcode. They can scan this mark they give you, and it can bring up, for example, almost just like a QR code, again, like scan with your smartphone. It can bring up data on your vaccination status or any other data they want to include on you. And to me, that is what was concerning. Not so much, well, I think it's creepy, the name of it, of course, especially as related to they want to mark you with it. But to me, the bigger thing, well, arguably the bigger thing, at least the one on the surface, is that they want to do this in the first place. That they want to give people tattoos, essentially.
So yeah, so that's what they've just filed a patent to do this, and like you couldn't come up with a different name,
Right?
like why? Why did they, it's almost like they do it on purpose?
Be out in the open with it.
Yeah.
It's like they do it on purpose. Like you
Yeah, but
already know people are gonna.
That's not even smart though. Like you're gonna turn away. The U.S. is a large population of
Christians. Yeah.
It's a mark.
And you call it that?
Yeah. The mark of the beast. It's like it's not even smart, like marketing or. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why I don't get it. That's why it's so. Every time I see something with Lucifer in it,
and then you name it Luciferase.
Yeah, but they do it all the time.
Right.
I don't understand
Because
the
they're just
logic
going
of
to
that.
force you to get it anyway. So,
Yeah.
They gotta announce it before they do it. I don't know.
Yeah, like why call it Luciferase?
Yeah. You're gonna turn away all these people. I'm not getting that mark of the beast. That's the mark of the beast.
Maybe they do it so that they can make Christians and like the religious right look stupid. Like, oh, here they go again, Lucifer. Oh, that's why they'll do like make fun. They'll let Lil Nas X go to #1 with that goofy video because it's like then you can make Christians look crazy. I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know. Anyway, let me show some Joe Biden. We didn't get to know Joe Biden clips, man.
Yeah, I'm done with Joe Biden.
You done with Joe Biden?
How you done with Joe Biden?
Man, he's our president.
Joe Biden.
I'm done with his clips.
You done with his clips?
What do I do? Where do I go?
Mr. President, thank you.
Like, don't let him fall off
At
the
the
stage,
end of
man.
such a momentous event,
Yo, he's literally like
the word thank you
lost,
seems
bro.
kind of inadequate.
He's
but
frazzled.
for all the millions whose lives will be saved,
Like, all right, I'll
for the communities where life will be transformed, thank you.
Even the
Thank you,
cameraman is
President.
like, I don't know what to do. Like, what is he doing? Yo, this when he's like this though, this is like.
He's like,
Where's Joe at, man?
People were saying this is the Beavis Cornholio pose. Remember
Yeah, it
Cornholio? Yeah. Yo, that's crazy.
sad. It's a sad, sad day.
Where am I?
3 blind mice.
Boss, let's go over here. Okay, once you turn around to your right. Hey, folks, how are you?
Yikes.
He said, "Hey, folks, how are you?" Here's one more right here. One more.
Truth is, there's a lot more Republicans out there taking credit for the new bridges and those bullets that are collapsing than actually voted for it. I love going by and they're, and this is a great thing. Truth is, there's a lot more Republicans out there taking credit for the new bridges and those bullets that are collapsing than actually voted for it. I love going by and they're,
You see the people in the background shaking their heads like, yeah, well, I know exactly what he's saying. Bridges about collapsion, yeah. Yeah, I know what he means. Look at this lady right here. Watch her nod her head like, yes, that's right, Joe.
Yeah,
You're doing a great job.
than actually voted for it. I love going by and bullets that are collapsing than actually voted for it. I love going by and they're, and this is a great thing. I voted against it, but this is a great thing.
What are they laughing at?
He's trying to make the joke that people didn't vote for his Build Back Better plan, but they love taking credit for like the bridges and the infrastructure that's being built based off of his plan.
Did you have the one where he was? I think it was at the same thing, and he was like,
The gas price?
Nah, he looked over at some girl, I guess.
Yes, I didn't even because to me it did sound. It was creepy.
Sounded weird,
It sounded weird, and it would definitely because it was him.
Yeah.
He looks at a girl and he goes. He said, "You got to say hi to me."
Yeah.
He said, "I had known her from a long time ago. She was 12 and I was 30."
Knowing what we know about his son's computer.
That was all over the place.
Yeah, it was all over the place. But to me, it was just like she could have been a family friend or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? But because it's Joe, it seems creepy. But I was like, I'm not going. Okay. And then I got one of our VP. A little something light. You know what I mean? Her just doing what she does.
But it is significant that we are here together in Tokyo. In that we also share a common goal and bond as it relates to our dedication to peace and security in the Indo-Pacific, and the work that we will continue to do to ensure that we are guided by what we are joined in terms of international rules and norms around the importance of peace, security, and prosperity for the Indo-Pacific. So I look forward to our conversation, and it is good to see you.
Is it frozen?
It might be, but it's just it's like I don't know. She it's so hard to understand anything she's saying. Here's a video of Tim Pool touching on what we talked about last week when we talked about how when Donnie was commenting about the White House, how the White House is basically saying, "Oh, Joe Biden doesn't know what he's talking about." So Tim Pool was basically commenting on it, saying kind of the same thing we were saying, which I thought was interesting.
This has been happening under Trump and Biden. Plain as day, the executive branch has gone rogue. Under Donald Trump, they lied to him about the number of troops in Syria, rejecting his orders to get our troops out. Under Joe Biden, he is stating definitively over and over again our policies. Our position on Putin? No, they said that's not true. Our position on Taiwan? No, it's not true. If the president says it, you listen. Who is the person under Trump and now under Biden? Who are the people who are outright saying we will not listen to the commander-in-chief?
Yeah, no, it's more than one. Look at Deborah Birx, right, when she was going back to COVID stuff, and in her book she talks about how I wouldn't give Trump those numbers. I wouldn't share that data. Like I wasn't going to share it with them because it would have screwed everything up. So she made a decision that I don't have to tell the president, so he can make decisions. I'm more powerful than the president, and I think at every policy issue there's someone who calls those shots. But the clean house has to be huge.
But there's no coincidence, especially when you look at the presidency, when it changes from Democrat to Republican. The national security state, American foreign policy, usually stays the same.
Yeah.
It's usually very hawkish. It's very neoconservative. It's very pro-war, and it's very pro-globalization, pro-IMF, World Bank policies that, of course, are spreading all this globalization around the world. What I think is happening here, if I could put on my conspiratorial hat, is that they literally wheel Biden into an interview, which he does very few of. And then they wheel him off after they take him off all the drugs. They put him at a table, just like a Fisher-Price table, and it has a button, it has a phone, but none of it actually works. And there's people behind the scenes truly calling the shots, just like they do do in almost every other presidency. And Biden legitimately could be pressing the nuke button, could be calling people, talking to people, but it's all make pretend. It's all make believe. It's not real. And the people truly calling the shots are people who have more power than the president of the United States, and they probably meet in private, organize, and set policies that, of course, we've been following for many decades now that always go unquestioned, that every president promises to change when he's going to become president. Every president, when he runs on that campaign trail, says, I'm going to stop the wars, I'm going to stop the spying, I'm going to bring back American liberties, I'm going to bring back America. And none of them are able to do it. Why is that?
That dude is Luke Krakowski, and he's a journalist. He became popular because he went to and found the Bilderberg meetings that they were trying to say didn't exist. He was one of the first people to like go there and confront politicians as they were coming out of the building and like ask them about it. And like that's how he became popular. But it's just interesting. Like the points that they're making is kind of echoing what we were saying last week. It's like if the president can definitively say something, because it did happen under Trump, it did happen under Biden, and then the White House can come out and say, no, that's not technically true. Like, who is like? Then you wonder why people talk about a deep state.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
It's a bunch of billionaires just meeting at a table.
Yeah. Klaus Schwab in the World Economic Forum. All right, we can get into these videos, Jake. So let's talk about what you sent me. We were watching this earlier.
Yeah, it's about economics. Mainly, it's about inflation, I think, and what's going on with inflation. Kind of showing what happens and why it happens.
How the policies that we vote for end up affecting us economically.
Yeah, I was gonna let it speak for itself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He just goes into it and really breaks it down.
And the dude that he's talking to is a billionaire, one of the biggest investors, and he's a huge advocate for Bitcoin. I sent you guys a video of him before talking to Patrick Bet-Davis from Valuetainment. He interviewed him about like Bitcoin and he was like advocating for why it's a better investment than even property, even any type of, other type of asset. He has this argument that he even goes into in this longer video. If you guys want to check it out, it's on YouTube. It's like a 2-hour long interview, it's really informative. This dude knows his stuff, but he's more speaking about the impact of inflation on economics and policies and stuff like that.
And how the social aspects play in.
Yeah.
A lot of these, how the government uses these things.
Yeah.
you can just play it and we'll kind of talk about it.
The interest rate is to try to get activity.
They're trying to use monetary policy
So
to
real quick. So he's saying, they lower the interest rate. He's talking about
the Fed.
The Fed.
Yeah.
Right, so they lower the interest rate. They print more money.
Mm-hmm. Which is something that they did more than ever before in history and over the last couple of years was print money, inflate the dollar.
Yeah.
And the Fed is the 5 biggest banks in the world, you can say.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the Fed, talking about the U.S.
Federal Reserve.
Federal Reserve.
Yeah. It's not a governmental thing.
Nope.
It's a private thing.
It has nothing to do with the government.
Nothing to do with the government.
But it works in tangent with the government.
Yeah. Okay, back to it.
Is that accurate? That's why they're lowering the interest rate, is to try to get activity?
they're trying to use monetary policy to counteract the negative impact of fiscal and foreign policy and domestic policy.
But what is the negative impact? Is it people just pulling back and not spending money? It's going to be important to get where I think we need to go. It's going to be important to understand why this stuff happens.
When a government declares a war, they basically put public policy initiatives ahead of the interest of the free market. Right? So if I declare a war, I could just draft every single adult in the country, put them in the military, send them off, and if I lose the war, they're all dead. Right? What's it do to the economy? The economy crashes. Right? What's it do to the prices? Well, price of everything go up. If you want to create inflation, you do it a couple of ways. Either you cut the supply, or you cut the supply of the product you want to buy, or you increase the supply of the money that's available to buy it with.
That sounds like something they've been doing both of simultaneously. And even like if COVID didn't get it enough, there's a reason why all of these farms we're hearing about being shut down. There's a reason why all of these food manufacturing plants are being burned down, targeted, explosions, pipe leaks, all these things that are
Bill
happening.
Gates buying all this farmland.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I don't know if it's in any of these clips, but this dude basically says like one of the biggest problems with people now is that they don't understand finance and they don't understand politics. But you were saying that's by design, when we were talking about this earlier, which is true. Like those are two things that we never learn in school. Never. Like how money works.
Not in depth.
And this dude, like when you watch this full interview, it makes a lot of sense how like it's just a simple mathematical equation that you do to offset like your risk versus reward in investing. And where you should place your money and like what you should invest in and how you should spend your money, how you should save your money. It's all just simple common sense, but we don't think of it in those terms because we're taught that it's this magical thing. But anyway, it's a good interview. You guys should watch it.
So if I make it illegal to manufacture food, the price of food's going up. Right? I don't even need to print more money, right? I can create inflation just in a war, like in World War II. We have gas rationing. You have food coupons. Why? Because all the gasoline gets shipped off to Europe to put in tanks or to put in airplanes or put in ships. So when you have policies that are declaring a war on something, you divert resources. So we had a war on COVID. We have a war on carbon, an energy war. If I decide I don't want you to burn coal or oil, then I drive up the price of energy. If I decide I don't want you to show up in your office, I drive up the price of.
Maybe that lady who was screaming into her TikTok video should
say that.
So it's not the religious right?
Production.
They don't want us driving gasoline cars, man.
Yeah, and it's because what do we have? We have a net zero carbon initiative in place.
Right.
Yeah. If I decide that, I want to fight this COVID war, and I'm going to change the way the economy works, then I'm going to drive up the cost of everything else. So we've got lots and lots of wars, right? You've got a culture war. You've got a war on office work. You've got a war on carbon. You've got a war in the Ukraine. The war in the Ukraine has escalated, right? It's not just a war in the Ukraine. It's really a kind of a quasi-economic war on Russia. So when we actually imported Russian sanctions, we cut the amount of gasoline or the amount of fuel available and energy. We drive up the price of energy. So every single time you actually put a public policy in place, you create inflation.
Is that accurate?
I thought it was Putin's price hike. Gotta tell you, I'm a little upset he didn't mention the InfoWars. Talked about all the wars. Didn't mention InfoWars.
I think this is going to be one of the key.
Yeah.
Okay, so the wars. I don't know if he went into that, but I wanted to touch on the war thing a little bit because the war is how they get people excited or into their, like, you can think of even like in the Roman times. Yeah. in order for them to go to these places to go to war, especially because of the cost, they had to keep on. They had to win, right? Or project that they're winning. But they had to keep them happy, and they did that through games,
bread and circus,
right? But they also had to make it look virtuous, right? They had to make it look like it was something that was a need.
Mhm.
We were doing something virtuous. We're going and we're bringing civilization to the heathens,
Yeah.
or to the barbarians. You
What
know
do we
I
do?
mean?
We're bringing democracy.
Right.
You know, what do we
Yeah.
do in Iraq?
Right. But I mean, even that's back then. But now it's about war on drugs.
Yeah, that's been since
Right.
the 80s, though.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm saying
They-
like that's how
losing that war.
Yeah.
Well, but that was a virtuous thing.
Yeah,
Right? And
yeah.
but it's funny when you look back on it, it was actually our own issue. Like
Yeah.
it was America.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah.
embedded with a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
The war on drugs. But now he's talking about like you have all
war
these
on COVID,
these-
war on climate, war on
the unvaccinated.
Yes.
Yeah. So now you have to get people to jump on board with these wars.
Yeah.
Right? Because then they'll be okay with giving up things. Right? You have the war, you have the even veganism. Like
Mhm.
it's another thing. Like
Yeah, there's been a huge. Y'all have been noticing how much they're trying to get people to stop eating meat. Yeah.
yeah. So
I ain't doing it.
if you look at what happens, they're trying to get people like eat food, right? How do you increase inflation? You deal with it with the food, right? So
Yeah.
so with meat, right? You cause issues there.
Mhm.
Right? You put more policies in place. That's the biggest thing.
Regulations.
You put regulations,
Yeah.
policies in place that are going to make it harder for these farmers to produce.
Mhm.
It's going to make it harder for these, like even just milk, right?
Which is kind of what he was saying, where it's like you make it illegal to sell food so that you can inflate the price of food.
Right.
Food. Yeah.
And that's what's happening. And there's a reason why they do it, but then it's out of virtue. Like, well, we need our milk to be grade A,
Yeah,
and you
right,
know, and
right.
and it
Gotta
has
make
to
sure
go
people
through
aren't
this
getting
certain
sick. Yeah.
process,
Yeah.
and they say all these things, but bro, we've been doing a lot of stuff for
Dude, we've been eating
thousands of years.
We've been eating seed oils that used to be used to lubricate machines.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For how many decades now? Bro,
Yeah.
Twinkies. Twinkies have been
Yeah.
existing.
Terrible.
You know what I'm saying? But we got to make sure that milk is grade A, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
So there's
we care,
there's
'cause
so
we
many
care.
Yeah.
Care about
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
and that's the thing. We care about you, but it's really like it's getting people to feel like we're doing something, but then you stack on a bunch of policies and it causes things to collapse because nobody can be controlled that much.
Yep.
Or nobody can afford.
Yeah. They can't afford
keep
to get
operating.
only the big
Right.
billionaire companies can afford to operate with those regulations. And they know that. That's why they lobby for the regulations.
Right. And they'll
Because it stamps out all their
contribute to their
competition.
campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going.
Key elements that people need to understand. So centralized control, I think, is a core part of the thesis as to why things are breaking. So you have governments coming in top down. This is going to be the way that it is. And I've heard you say, and I would agree with this very much, let's assume that they're coming in with good intentions. But despite their good intentions, they're creating all kinds of problems. There's actually do you know Thomas Sowell?
I don't.
Oh my God, I think you would really resonate with him. He's an economist, so you might discount him a little bit for that.
Thomas Sowell, we've showed on here multiple times.
But he says the last 30 years have been marked by trading what worked with what sounds good. And I
Bars.
think that we're, to your point about wars, let's take the one on energy. So we've got people doing a green war, great intentions. They really believe in that they want to save the planet, but it in trying to help the patient, they are putting forward measures that do feel very warlike, that are closing off a lot of doors, that are making energy more expensive, that are going to disproportionately impact the poor, not just here in the US, but around the world. And so that top-down control, I know better, I know what to do with this knob. Instead of letting it evolve or happen in the free market, we're going to prescribe behavior. And that now, I would say, and I'd love to know if you agree, is, if not the biggest, certainly one of the biggest contributors to what's happening to the economy.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. The road to hell is paved in good intent.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
California.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like it's about the free market.
Yeah.
When you start, and like you said, California, you know, putting this whole thing, and I even hear people, they like people try to justify this stuff, right? But you don't understand what's going on. You can't tell people what they can and cannot purchase, right? You can't tell people what they can and cannot do in a free market and a free society.
Yeah.
You
That wasn't that. What was the governor in New York that was trying to stop, or the mayor trying to stop people from buying soda? Remember that, like a few years ago? Was that De Blasio?
He had a sugar tax, right?
Yeah.
And like if you think about porn is destructive, right?
Yeah.
But
it's free though.
But it's free. But like, what do you do?
Isn't that crazy?
How do you deal with that? Right?
Yeah.
Do you just ban it all?
No, that doesn't. That wouldn't change anything.
They'll still get it.
Drugs have been banned forever.
Alcohol was banned.
Yeah.
You'll figure out a way to get it.
Yeah.
Right. The point is, that's not the issue.
No.
Right. And that's the problem where we're looking these people who are supposed to be representatives for the people, right? They're getting in a place where they feel like they know better than you.
Yeah.
They know better than you, and it's like, based off of what? You know, the whole climate thing, based off of what? A few scientists?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of scientists that don't agree with it.
Yeah.
You know,
and
like,
even the original one came out and said he's wrong.
Yeah. But they're not going to talk about that now.
Yeah.
They already gave what's his name?
Carrie.
No, not Carrie. Who's the first one with global warming that went around the whole world, got billions of dollars to promote that, to sell it to the world, and it worked. The dude that lost the election to Bush.
Al Gore.
Al Gore,
yeah.
my bad.
Yeah,
Al Gore. You know what I mean? Like that dude, they sent him around the world
Did he
like
lose the election?
Global warming salesman. You know what I'm saying?
and I think the market is key, because what do you go, like, even just look at like ancient times, they had markets, right?
Yeah.
What do you go to the market for?
Goods.
To get what you need.
Yeah.
Right? To get what you need. That's what it's about. Like, now it's turned into, once you got what you need, you get what you want.
Right.
Right. That's what people are.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know
all of your needs are met. So
Yeah.
now it's just about
That's
what
how
do I
you know
want?
you're living lavish.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
But now they're trying to virtue signal you to tell you what you need.
Right.
When that's not really what you need, because you know you don't need it because you got what you need already.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the issue.
Mm.
They're selling you on stuff that you don't need, but they're telling you need it.
Infomercials, man. That's why I've always hated infomercials.
Isn't that wizardry?
It is.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
literally a spell.
It's
The government
witchcraft.
has replaced.
You know.
This guy is.
I think this is good.
I just got to point out that his little setup is annoying me for some reason.
I don't like it. Why does he have that
the blue
little
Yeti
the
mic,
little blue thing?
dude? Because that
Yeti is huge.
that microphone is like, everybody that just getting into streaming, if they like Google a streaming setup, that mic, people tell them to use that mic. That mic's terrible.
Yeah.
But this guy, he has like a whole set. Like, he has a nice setup.
I know, but he's got that
But I don't know why.
crappy mic and webcam.
I don't know why he's doing this setup. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
And then he's got his little figurines behind him.
Other dude look like Brett Favre to me.
The other dude look like Brett Favre?
Oh,
Yeah,
speaking of Brett Favre, you hear about him?
No.
Yeah, bro.
What?
dude scumbagging, man.
Yeah.
He took
again.
He took a bunch of money.
A bunch of money that was meant for poor people.
Yeah, and he opened up some like facility or something.
Yeah, he wanted to
in Mississippi.
Yeah,
where Mississippi is like having that water crisis right now.
Yeah, poor.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, he got caught like taking a bunch of money.
the old mayor or the old governor
was
a
his
part of
boy,
it,
yeah, or something, and like hooked him up with some money. Just just political corruption, hooking up your friends. But Brett Favre is mixed up in it.
Well, this dude, it's the same dude that sent, the DP
to
to the
right.
reporter.
you know what's also funny? Did y'all see that video of just celebrity hypocrisy? Did y'all see that video last week? We didn't get to it, of that chick that came out saying that Adam Levine was naming his. So people are posting all of these like memes of him like wearing feminist shirts and like talking about women's rights and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But it's like
nice.
It's just people got to stop following the fake virtue of these celebrities.
Right.
So this next clip is what? A Thomas Sowell clip?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is where we're gonna go into Thomas Sowell.
Yeah, I figured he talked about Thomas Sowell.
Yeah.
And he's like that's. I love that quote about the 30 years, which is connected to 30 years is from the 90s to the 60s.
Yeah.
So that's when he said that was in the 90s. That's what he was talking about.
And now we're 30 years from there.
Yeah, now we're 30 years from there.
Wow. Crazy.
Now, since the 1960s, the United States of America has won the Cold War. Remained while a lot of people, including mostly conservatives, were saying, "Oh, America's lost its nerve," and because we're
I don't think that was mostly conservatives.
Well, I recall an issue of the public interest in the mid 1970s saying, "Has America lost its nerve?" A whole bunch of conservatives saying, "Oh my God, it's terrible."
Well, this is Jimmy Carter's era.
Well, maybe that's right. Since this terrible event 30 years ago, when the 60s.
Isn't it funny they're calling Biden the new Jimmy Carter? Have you heard people make this correlation?
No.
I've heard this multiple times.
Wow.
That he's the new Jimmy Carter.
Ain't that crazy? The economy, like,
ain't that crazy?
Dropped upon us. We've won the Cold War. We've continued to grow in affluence, in professional skills. We have absorbed about 20 million immigrants. We are the wealthiest, freest country in the history of the world. You would agree with all of that, roughly?
No, I disagree entirely with your base period.
It's your base period.
None of these
You were
things.
established in 1960. No.
I'm saying all those things that you talk about began long before the 1960s. They folded to a great extent under Jimmy Carter. They were resumed with renewed vigor in the 1980s under an entirely different kind of vision. But I'm talking about the social decline of the country, because the social decline is all the more striking because here's a country that is prosperous. You can't blame the crime rate on the fact that there's more poverty, there's less poverty, there's more affluence. It's not due to foreigners because, as you say, we've won the Cold War. All the normal things that you might blame all this on aren't there. It's not because of diseases, because science has conquered more diseases. It's all because of self-inflicted wounds. And I'm saying these are the people who inflicted those wounds, and this is why we shouldn't listen to them anymore.
What are the nature of those wounds?
Crime.
No.
The disintegration of the family, the disintegration of the educational system. And it's not going to matter. We'll be like the man who gained the whole world and lost his soul.
Is there a common root to all of those problems, other than you heard them from the anointed class? I mean, is there something? Is it big government? Is it big government? Is that what it is?
No. It's the notion that ordinary people cannot be trusted to make the decisions that they've been making, but they must be preempted either by judges in the case of crime, by the schools taking over the indoctrination of other people's children behind their back and against their protests, or what's the other one?
Dude, I was just gonna say that. Like, he's talking about that then.
Yeah.
Schools indoctrinating children behind the parents' back. And look at what we're dealing with now.
Family, taking money from the taxpayers and subsidizing behavior, as well as encouraging it and legitimizing behavior that's turned out to be enormously self-destructive.
This is what's happening.
Dude.
To another level.
To another level. Subsidizing behavior that's self-destructive by taking money from responsible people. Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. He's a smart guy, man.
You make this vigorous attack in the vision of the Anointed that we should no longer listen to these people. That's sort of the debate. They've been wrong. They don't prove their points.
So he's talking, just so people know, he's talking about, he calls these people
the anointed.
They're like the self-anointed.
Right. We call them the elites.
The elites,
Yeah.
right. And he's basically saying like they feel like you can't govern over yourself, so they have to do it for you.
That was the whole philosophy of Edward Bernays. Remember when we did that whole episode on him? Remember who he is? Yeah. Edward Bernays. He was the nephew of Sigmund Freud.
Yeah.
He created the whole modern marketing system, everything that we know about marketing to this day, to human psychology on how to sell people. He's the reason why you eat bacon for breakfast. But and why women started smoking cigarettes.
I agree,
I know.
Yeah, thank you. I was gonna say thank you.
I know. But he lives by that mantra where he believed that the decision making belonged to an elite class of people that rightfully earned the intellectual prowess to make decisions for the rest of the people because everyone else was too dumb to know what was best for them. So that's what I think Thomas Sowell is, when he talks about the anointed ones, he's talking about those people that believe it's okay to tell us whatever, lie to us, trick us, manipulate us. That's what marketing is.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's good for you.
Yeah.
So
and that's what's happening with this, with the inflation stuff. I didn't record that, but when we're talking about how Japan is straight lying right now.
Printing money and lying about what it's worth. Yeah.
Because of what they've invested in, what they put their assets in.
Yeah.
So now they have to back that.
Yeah, he was breaking down how like they put so much stock into their bonds that in order for them to keep their bonds inflated in value, they have to keep printing money to cover up the fact that these things are dropping in value, because if they do, the whole economy can crash.
Yeah, but it's like it's destroying their money.
Yeah.
It's the yen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's destroying the yen.
Yeah.
Like, at an astronomical
pace,
and this is what's happening in a lot of countries. Yeah, like people think America is the best right now.
And even that is he showed how it's more than doubled. He was breaking down how like the U.S. dollar on average would decrease in value by 7% every year, right? And or they would print 7% more money, something like that. I remember it was like a 7% change every year, and now it's at like 15 to 20, based off of COVID, which is an astronomical.
I don't think it was every year.
Was it?
No, I don't think it was every year. I think it was like every 10 years or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Every 10 years.
That wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
7% every year.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was like every 10 years, the money, the value of your money would decrease by 7%. Yeah.
You know what's crazy is it makes a lot of sense because Japan just opened up travel for foreigners to come into Japan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, there's stuff on TikTok like, oh, there's travel discounts, everything is cheaper now.
They want that tourist money.
So they want the tourist money to come in at rates.
They want them U.S. dollars too, because their money is not worth anything right now.
So like 1,000 yen, which used to be $10 here. That's the equivalent. It's now $6.
Oh wow.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah, they import so much. You think? I don't know.
Yeah, but
I'm not a,
it's because it's because these countries are printing more money than they've ever printed. So if you're constantly putting more money into circulation, that money is getting devalued.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I don't know if we ever spoke about this on here. I think we have, about just like putting your money in the bank.
Yeah.
Like you put your money in the bank, it's gonna lose its value.
It loses its value.
I think it's like what 0.06%. It increases, but at the rate of what inflation,
you actually lose money.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about the story of the servants who got the talents.
Hit them in the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you put your money, if you're hiding your money away even in your house, like
you ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
It's not about doing that. You're losing money. You know, you're losing
He
value.
talked about that in that video I sent y'all. He was like think about this. A guy in 1930 who had $50,000. How much money was that in 1930? You know what I mean? He hid that in his mattress and he said, "I'm going to save this for my grandkids." And then 1990, he gives his grandkids that $50,000. What's that worth?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think even the guy we were listening to.
Yeah. But it's not worth what it was worth. You know what I'm saying? Like how
it's worth 40.
Yeah, like not even.
Yeah, I know.
He was talking about his house in Florida. I don't remember where. It's like on the beach.
He said Miami Beach.
Was it Miami?
Yeah.
Was worth 40,000. I mean, it's worth 40 million now.
Yeah.
But in 1930, it was 100,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, that's crazy. And those things don't really. I think the way he was saying it was like beachfront property. Usually, that's what you can test the market on.
Yeah, because there's no way to inflate it.
Yeah.
Because it's scarcity.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you can't make more beachfront property.
Yeah.
You either have it or you don't. You know what I mean? But anything that can be manufactured or made, it ruins the scarcity, which is another reason why he's so into Bitcoin, because there's a finite amount of Bitcoin. So there's scarcity. You know what I mean? It's not like the U.S. dollar where you could just print it.
Yeah. And then now, how do you take down Bitcoin? The computers.
Yeah.
You need a bunch of computing power.
Yep.
Energy. Fossil fuel.
Yep. Chips.
Solar can't.
Yeah.
Power that.
Right.
Wind can't power that.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Nuclear.
They won't approve it. They just shut down a nuclear factory in France.
Yeah, I think they're
for no reason.
Second one.
For no reason.
France is on another level right now.
Yeah.
Can we?
I think Nord Stream 1 and 2 just got
Jordan's
attacked
saying
today
that the
too.
sound is glitchy.
Sound is glitchy?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
He can still understand it.
CPU.
But it's very noticeable.
Is the CPU jumping up, John?
No.
I wonder why the sound is glitchy.
30%.
That's weird. Sounds clear to us.
Yeah, but it's weird how it's not playing right though.
Yeah.
Well, that's because of the desktop presenter. That's because of the desktop presenter. Let me fix that real quick. Because I'm on the slower band of Wi-Fi down here in the Lions Den. So I got to jump on the other band real quick. It should be better now. All right. Let's keep playing this.
Who should we listen to?
We should listen first and foremost to our own experience. You seem to act as if there must be alternative saviors. We should stop looking for saviors. When the society has not existed for thousands of years because it had a succession of saviors. It's existed because it has institutions and processes through which people can realize their own goals.
No, I understand that, but you are attacking people who would like to lead us and tell us how the world works.
No, they don't want to tell us how the world works. They want to take over the decision for us. They don't tell the parents how they ought to teach sex education to their children. They put this material in the school behind the backs of the parents with instructions not to let the parents see it.
Okay, but
that's crazy. 1995, dude. This is 1995.
Dude.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking this is something that they're just doing now.
No, they've been doing it. Like even when we grew up in, like this is our time in middle school, right?
Right.
And when we were there, I remember the controversy of them showing the sex ed stuff.
I remember watching that movie about what was that movie that they showed everybody about the baby being born?
Yeah.
Did y'all have to watch that in middle school?
Yeah. You see the woman.
Yeah, you see the whole
thing.
Vagina giving birth and everything.
And I was a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was weird.
I was uncomfortable with what's her name? I forgot her name. You know, having a banana and a condom.
Yeah, it's saying it's more
Yeah.
glitchy. Courtney said it's glitchy too.
Yeah, that's uncomfortable.
Yeah, check your volumes, man.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know why it's glitchy.
Yeah, it's weird.
Very glitchy.
That's weird. Sorry, guys.
Maybe it's too hot. Is
it hot in here? Y'all hot?
It is hot in here.
Yeah. Open that door.
I'm sweating a little.
Open that door.
Sweating a little. Yeah, it's crazy though. 95.
1995. Yeah. All right, let's keep it going.
But we live in an open and democratic society now. Mr. and Mrs. John Q. Public are listening to this program, I hope, and they're saying, "Boy, that guy really makes a lot of sense." But basically, it's been a negative proposition. Don't listen to these people. Don't do this. Don't do that.
No.
Who
let
should
those people run your life?
Okay, but how do you practically?
I think it's a non-problem, Dan.
No, but how
it's
do you?
non-problem. Those people are adults just like you and me. They have been running their lives for thousands of years. They don't need me to tell them what to do.
But this is a.
Other question, I want to take over from people on the left.
No, but
I want them to continue to make their decisions as they see fit.
What's so hard about that?
Yeah, that's the free market.
Yeah.
Right?
That's freedom.
That's freedom. Yes.
That was the whole pushback against masks, the whole pushback against the vaccine, the whole pushback against this whole lockdown. It's like, no, man.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to do that, if you're afraid, go be my guest.
Wear a mask.
But don't try to. I don't need you to think for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you're making it unsafe for everybody.
You're killing grandma.
Right.
Yeah.
Protect.
Based
protect
off
your
of what?
babies.
Yeah. Where's your foundation for what you're saying?
I had a doctor shame me. I'm sorry to cut you off. I took my mom to her insurance thing because she got into an accident or whatever like that. And, you know, I was wearing my mask like this.
Halfway down.
Yeah, and then he asked me, "Are you vaccinated, son?" I'm like, no.
Are you my doctor?
You need to get vaccinated. I was like, well, no. Don't start with me because I know better than you because I'm a doctor. Bro, don't you know I wanted to lay in on him?
Yeah, I know you did. But it's not worth it.
It's not worth it because I know where he was.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
On his high horse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like.
Yeah.
It's a shame game, bro.
That's the
like
problem.
it's that shame game.
Yeah. That's the problem, is that you have people who are loud, you know, and they'll force you because of their fear. You know, it's kind of what I was talking about earlier with the happy wife, happy life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you make your wife, you want your wife. I know this is gonna sound a little. Oh boy, what can happen with this? This is gonna sound a little misogynist, but it's
lion drawer, man. Go ahead.
But this is like, this is what happens on TV. You see the dude who like sits down, gets off of work with his beer. He don't want to listen to his wife.
Yeah.
He's trying to drown her out, right? You're not even listening to me. Well, that's what it is. Like, you don't, but he doesn't know how to deal with it, is what I'm trying to say. He doesn't know how to stand and be like, listen, I love you, right? And we're going to work this out. But right now, I need you to calm down. You know, I need you to stop thinking you know everything because the doctor told you something. Right? Or whoever told you. And now you're in fear because you're not listening, right? Yeah, and then what happens? They'll disrespect you because they're better than you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's what happens with most men, and they feel belittled, and and that's what happened. Like, this guy swears, like, who is he to tell you something, like, in that way?
Yeah.
Because he's a doctor, he feels like he has the right. Like, even if like, you definitely know, even if you got it all figured out, you still shouldn't be talking to nobody like that. You still can talk to somebody in a way where you can share something with them that they'll be able to receive it, in a loving way.
Yeah.
You don't have to talk down to them, but it's that
It's all
same
shame game.
Yeah.
You need to protect Noah's. You need to protect him, and you need to protect your mom.
But if they have it, then they're protected.
Right.
Right?
If they were sick already.
Yeah, they have antibody.
Nah, is that how science works?
Yeah. Did y'all see when Rand Paul went in on Fauci about the antibodies, about natural immunity?
Yeah.
He's been getting on. He ain't letting it go.
I like that guy.
He
man.
ain't letting it go, man.
A good.
And then Fauci just does his normal. No, with all due respect, Senator.
That's a good impression.
Yeah,
it's very good.
It's a good one, man.
All right, let's keep going.
You're not going to actually cool your home below 80 degrees in the summer, and you're not going to heat your house. You remember during the energy crisis,
They're doing that now in Switzerland, was it?
I think it was
or Sweden, one of those countries.
Yeah, I think Sweden. You might be right, and Canada too. I think wasn't there something?
San Diego.
What in San Diego they're doing that?
Yeah,
I was going to say.
Remember the mayor?
There was
it
somewhere in the States too?
No, it wasn't the mayor. It was governor. Newsom.
Gavin Newsom.
Yeah. So I don't know if we played it, but he talking about turn off your AC, between this time and this time, as he's doing the press conference.
I saw that
in the coat. So
yeah.
he was
because he was in a nice icy chilled AC telling everybody to turn off. Yeah, I saw that.
Like, bro.
No, but there was something. It was either Sweden or Switzerland. Y'all can look it up and let me know. But where they were literally accessing people's digital thermostats and not letting them change the temperature, setting it to a certain temperature, and you had no access to it.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how bad it's getting in Europe.
Because they signed up for it because they would gave them like a incentive or something up front.
Yeah.
If they signed up for this program.
This is what they always do.
Know,
was that Denmark or?
It was one of those countries. It was one of the Nordics. You know what I mean?
The Nordics.
Yeah. Denmark, Sweden, Switzerland, one of those.
All right, well.
Anyway.
Right.
But yeah, so they got people. What do? They incentivize you with some kind of deal or some kind of, thing. And then, but they get you to compromise and sign up for something where now they can come back in and force you to turn off your heat and your air conditioning. You know what I mean?
When you need it.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Remember this in the 70s, right? It was your patriotic duty to turn the thermostat down in the winter and turn the thermostat up in the summer. So this happens in wars too, right? In a war, it becomes your patriotic duty to do without. Well, the problem is too much government. And the most dysfunctional societies are the ones that have the strongest, most pervasive governments, because they're the ones that can actually take the economic decisions to cripple the economy completely and utterly. No checks and balances. So the impact and the damage of the lockdowns was much worse in Canada and Australia and New Zealand because they had strong centralized governments, and it was weaker in the US because we had state governments. If it wasn't for Florida and Texas, we might not have ever reopened our economy, right? But the fact that Florida and Texas reopened and people functioned became the incentive or the air cover for New York and California to reopen. So If you're an individual, the solution is you run to the place with the least government, figure out where that is. And you run away from the place with the most government, because the most authoritarian government is probably going to choke you to death.
Think about the most authoritarian, like most regulated, most rules places in the country. It's all the big major cities.
Yeah.
Where is the worst crime, the worst
California.
poverty, the worst? Yeah, California. The
Chicago.
Yeah, New York right now, Philly even. Drugs, crime. You know, people don't have gun rights there. You know, most regulated.
If you're politically engaged, the answer is vote for and lobby your politicians for less government, right? As long as politicians think government is the solution, you'll get more of it. When they start thinking that government is the problem, you'll get less of it. You know, all of the problem we have here is we don't have one war, we have 12 wars. We have the war on terror. We have the war on misinformation. We have the war on
Infowars.
carbon. We have the war on culture. We have the war in Ukraine. We have the war, fill in the blank, on radical Islam. We have the war for democracy. There's so many different wars. And, you know, a single terrorist event, look at what happened
Feminism.
in 9/11. Two
Yeah.
things. One, we decided we're going to go to Iraq, and we fought a war in Iraq. A country had nothing to do with 9/11. And it cost us, what, $1 trillion, and how many lives? And then we also implemented TSA restrictions and security restrictions. And so even to this day, we're now 22 years later, you can't get on an airplane,
That's the Patriot
you
Act,
know,
right?
without going through a horrific amount of security issues. And
Isn't it funny how like they always use war to implement these changes?
Yeah.
Income tax was established through war.
Yeah.
But it's funny how they do it in the guise of like he said, it's your patriotic duty to go along with this because we got a war on terrorism or a war on fascism. But it's funny how when the wars are over, those
It's still in
policies
place.
never go away.
It's still in
But
place.
The thing is, they're not even really wars.
They're not. They're not.
But they're just they're virtue. They're things that make like racism isn't really a thing, but they had to make racism a thing.
Yeah.
That's a war, right?
Yeah.
What do you mean it's not a thing though?
What I'm saying is that
it exists.
Racism isn't a thing like it used to be.
Right. He's saying it's not a war that needs to be fought.
But you have to make it something. You have to give people something, right? The same thing with feminism, right? Which turns into gender rights, gay rights, you know, all this stuff. Like you have to give people something to make them feel passionate about it, right? They're pushing all these things, and even on the other end, like you say, Trump stuff, you know, like where people take that too far. The Trumpism stuff, Trumpers, and the Make America Great Again. That becomes a whole nother thing that people have to feel like they got to fight for.
Right.
And some of it is actually merited, you know. And there's like none of these things would make sense. I mean, none of these things would have any power if there was no truth to it.
Right.
Like there's truth to all these things, right? Like people shouldn't be killing gay people, right? Not to say that that's like something that happens all the time, but if it happens every once in a while, then you can make it a thing.
Yeah, it's just like cops shouldn't be.
I was just gonna say it.
Yeah, they shouldn't be brutalizing anybody.
Right.
You know. But yeah,
but you can make it bigger than what it is.
Where you want to defund the police, and now you're looking at it's just like we were talking about before, like in theory. But now look at what crime, how the crime is.
Yeah.
And who it affects.
Yeah.
Because you're not dealing with the root causes. You're not dealing with the like, yeah, there's always gonna, like, what household is perfect?
None.
There's no household that's perfect, but kids can pick their parents apart if they want to. You know, and I think that's what we're dealing with. We're looking for things, cracks, right? Or not weird, but crafty people are coming in and looking for cracks and saying, "Did you pay attention to this?
Yeah.
Did you see this?" I mean,
Yeah.
that's the beginning. That's the garden.
Yeah.
Like, hold up, but did he really?
Right.
When the serpent comes in and
Yeah.
speaks to Eve, you know, like, hold up, but did he really say it that way?
Yeah.
Did
Maybe he just
said
doesn't
it
want you
this
to be
way?
like him.
Right, exactly. And that's the descent right there.
Mhm.
You know? Maybe he doesn't want you to be a god like
Yeah.
him. Maybe, you know, maybe he's trying to keep something from you. You still hear people say that. People
Right.
say that in culture now, like about Lucifer and, you know, the light bringer, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the main tropes of Luciferianism is that he was the benevolent guy that tried to enlighten people, and you know. All right, let's play this last video before we wrap it up. It's getting late.
I don't know that it's easy to actually fix that problem in any given country, right? Not so easy. But on a minor level, right, you can campaign for freedom in your municipality or your county or your state, maybe. You can it does have an impact. You can relocate yourself to a place that's more free from a place that's less free, right? I personally wouldn't live in a place where an official could, by edict, confine me to my home as long as they want, for any reason they want, without my approval, without a court order, you know, without a law, right?
Lori Lightfoot, while she can go get her hair done.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
if you
we'll
look at
send you
American history,
500
most of
bucks.
the constitutional fights where presidents wanted to declare war without an act of Congress, and Congress is supposed to actually vote on it. So if you live in a society where people can declare war on anything and everything without even a debate in the legislative branch, what good is it to elect people that are actually against that given policy if they don't even get a say in it? Right?
Why do you
Interesting
think top-down
question.
control doesn't work?
Why does top-down control not work? Because it's the decision of one individual versus the wisdom of the marketplace. The marketplace is trying to find, it's like the market, New York City as a set of 10 million people figures out how to run itself every day. And if one person got up in the morning and decided they were going to issue orders to all 10 million people and tell every one of them when to go to the bathroom, you know, like it probably wouldn't work so well, right? It's impossible for a centralized entity to actually make decisions that are as rational as a decentralized marketplace.
Humans, though, seem to, from a historical perspective, continually gravitate back towards the centralized top-down control. Do you think that there's something just inherent to the psyche where, is it arrogance that we believe we can do it? Is it that we really want to help and we feel like we know the answer? And so we go into politics and we only have that one lever. And so let me just keep adding things on the books. Like, what on earth is it that allows us to look at, say, the 20th century and go, that was just done poorly. Let me show you how it's really done.
You know, the tendency's been here since time immemorial. It goes back thousands and thousands of years, right? The battle in ancient Greece, you know, over is a monarchy better than a democracy, better than an aristocracy, right? It's a question that's been dealt with by ancient philosophers. You know, the Romans had a republic they thought was better than Philip of Macedon's kingdom. And, you know, they had debates 2,500 years ago. And so I don't think it's new. I think there's been a continual fight, yin and yang, between this. The only thing that's different today is that technology allows for the centralization of more authority. I don't know that it's easy to actually fix that problem in any given country. Right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So I think that was why do people keep going back to this? Like, why, like what he said, And I think that's the nature of man, to feel like they can figure it all out when they can't.
Right.
That's the centralized type of elite type thinking, that you gotta be narcissistic. You have to have a level of like selfishness.
Yeah.
To be able to continue in that way.
Right.
Or you'll give up. Because when you go through life and you start trying, like we said, sounds good, right? And then you go through life and you start trying to figure out every issue, you're going to realize you didn't account for every issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no way you can account. There's so many different ways things can go.
Variables.
Right?
Yeah.
So why would you want to be calculating all those?
Yeah.
Why would you want to be in all those algorithms and having to deal with all those things?
Yeah.
You know, you're putting that on yourself. I think that's like the most important thing that we can learn as believers, is that God accounted for it all. You know, we don't have to take that all on ourselves, and we can trust in him, and then we become a part of the puzzle. Like, we don't have to take it all on, but as we go through life and we go through our experiences, and that's something Thomas Sowell said, right? He said, our experiences. It's like you learn how to, through what you go through everyday life, right? You go through this issue. Now you can sit back, you can complain to each other about it, and everybody can be like, yeah, man, that's messed up, but nothing changes.
Yep.
Or you can trust God. I know there's a solution, right? That's the easiest for me. Or you can just try to figure it out yourself. I'm going to trust God because he's a loving God, and he's going to show me a way instead of me trying to figure out my own way, right? And then you become wise in those areas.
Mm-hmm.
Not in every area, right? Not in everything. Nobody, that's not the job. But when we become a community, you become wise in stuff that I've never gone through. So now when we have a situation, oh yeah, we can do this.
Yeah.
You become wise. You know, you have a situation, because everybody has different experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And then we grow together. You know, that's what true community is about.
Yeah.
You know, I believe that's what the church was intended to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the joining together of the body.
Yeah.
But what happens is you get people who, they start figuring they start reading the Bible, they get some stuff from God, and then they think they the end all to be all, and now they want to roll over everybody.
And then you get people that don't want responsibility, and they're like, somebody just lead me.
Just do everything for me.
Just do it. You know, like, even in the Bible, like, right? Then they tell God, like, just give us a king, please. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like they didn't want the responsibility to police themselves. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's good stuff. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. It's getting late.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody who has stuck with us the whole time. We appreciate each and every one of you. You know, it's a lot of stuff to get to, man. There's so many things that we didn't even touch on. I got so many clips here. You guys stuff that you didn't even send me.
Yeah.
We'll get to it another time. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff, man. So if you guys appreciate this conversation, if you like the things that we're bringing to you, the way we're trying to build this culture, a different culture, we're trying to create culture. You know what I'm saying? Me and Jake were talking about that earlier. We're trying to create culture here. So if you guys appreciate that, we're trying to bring a counter to the culture that is prominent right now. The things that, like that video that Moan sent me. I saw a video today of a bunch of kids ransacking a Wawa in Philly, and it was just like, oh man, did y'all see that? Yeah, it's like we got to do something, man. We got to do something. This is crazy.
Kingdom culture.
Yeah. So if y'all are down with that, support this, what we've been doing. Go to our Patreon, patreon.com/youngliontv. Sign up to become a member. Help with the cause. Let's spread this thing around. Share this video with people that you think may be like-minded. Anyone that you think may benefit from this, just send it to them in a DM. You know what I mean? Send it to them in a DM. Be like, yo, check this out. These dudes are talking about something different. And Yeah. Also, if you want to throw a donation to us, you can hit the Cash App, $youngliontv. Also, Jatan.com if you want music and merch. We're all wearing different merch today. Jake's got the Joy Ike Just Love merch on. Wearing Love, I think, is the name of that line. So shout out to them, our sisters, Joy and Peace. But yeah, I thank you guys for being here, man, and the Lions Den, John for stepping in and producing over there. We appreciate y'all, and we will see you guys next week. Yeah, we're out.
Peace.
Young lion go live, yeah. Young lion.